Joe in a bottle. Welcome along, everyone, to Racing Post Live this Saturday with myself, Dave Orton, back in the chair, delighted to be here. It seems society has gone mad, but don't worry, there'll be no panic. In the studio this afternoon, along with our sponsors, Betfair Exchange. We'll be giving you some sportsbook action as well. 7 places on the sportsbook on the Cambridgeshire. That's all you need to know. Where are you going to go? Will it be high, middle or low? Let us know. Live and interactive is the show. That rhymed remarkably. Now, I did say society seems to have gone mental out there. I hope you're nicely stocked up wherever you are and watching the show, helping us bring the right sort of crazy along. Natalie Green comes back into the studio. Nat, good to have you back.
Am I the right sort of crazy?
Have a look down the panel and you decide. I mean, I'm really not sure. Next to you, of course, is the big bear himself. Graham Rodway comes back in and doing all the trading for Betfair today. It is James Keep It Brief Millman.
Yeah,
welcome along, everyone. Let's just have a free-for-all. I was going to sort of do a little introduction, but you know what? Let's get the graphic up on the screen for the first race. We'll be doing the 50. The 150 is 6 races today. There you go. And look, there he is. Look. Graham Rodway, Hello Hume Zane's biggest fan. I don't know if regular viewers will understand why that's a little bit of a joke, because you can see senior analyst, of course, Dave Orton comes up, the assistant betting editor of the Racing Post. I'll get that in, make him feel a bit better about it. You just used to have tipster, didn't you? And it made you a little bit insane. So we thought, for a bit of a laugh, the boys in the studio are going to keep revolving it every week. You, of course, famously said to Adam Ryan, Kevin's son, Hello Hume Zane, the greatest sprinter they've ever trained, wasn't actually that good.
Yeah, rightly as well, wasn't it? Let's just remember that I went on to be proved correct on that, you know.
We are talking about, proper Group 1 winner, though, you know what I mean? So
he's a decent sprinter, isn't he? But wasn't a great one.
Okay, well, there's a couple of things that he's been right about, annoyingly, as well. We've got an ARC next weekend, of course. You said the snowfall wasn't very good, didn't you, a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, right about that, wasn't I, as well?
Turns out he was. You were on the show, James, when that happened?
Yeah, is he right though? Long term, I still wouldn't be 100%. I might be stacking up for later on in the show.
Yeah, listen, we're going to have plenty of time in between the races today. Let's get that out of the way. So live and interactive it is. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. Of course, Facebook Live. Let's get that chat going today. It's a bit of a damp, cloudy Saturday out there, isn't it? Where better to find out where your money went if you're having a play. And the 6 terrestrial races coming your way. And of course, it is Cambridgeshire Day, but we've got 2 Group 1s along the way. And we're popping up to Haydock as well for a couple of tasty handicaps there. I've napped in one of them. So, happy days. You are in the jury today as well, in the paper as well. Shall we have a look at the front page? Can you show everyone the front page? Now,
I can.
We've got about 20 minutes until the first. Turn on the power. First of all, turn on the power for Nat Green, because it's very unusual we've got a paper in this.
Game show.
Very, very good. We do QVC in here. We sell the members section, premium content. We're now selling the paper as well. But you were chuffed, weren't you, to be in that jury?
Honestly, I don't know how to say it.
The Saturday jury.
I thought it might come across as sarcastic, but genuinely, this is such a highlight for me, if I can find the page. You know when you try and show someone an article in a magazine and you can't find it? I'm in the flipping jury.
Yes, so if you want to go on your members section, you want to see what Nat says,
Put it in front
don't need to listen to her on this show. So all your picks are in there, aren't they? And you've given a couple. But it's lovely that you're in there, actually. You're in there with some really good people. You're in there with Gary
lovely?
Bardwell.
Is it a lovely picture?
Now, Jack Haynes, who put these together, you weren't happy with your picture, actually, were you?
I wasn't happy with the picture. Now, I sent about 12. This is so vain, so I just may as well just admit it.
Get it out there.
I may as well just get it out there. I sent about 12 profile pictures of me. I was like, oh, you pick. Pick the only one where I look... Well, maybe that is how I look. Maybe I'm just
obviously it is you, but I can sort of see where you're coming from. If you saw the ones that Nat wanted to put up, it's like ITV profiles and stuff like that. It's very glitzy glamours with some airbrush probably, all that sort of stuff. And Jack ended up picking that one. So Jack Haynes,
my roots are like, well, just never mind. Well,
But you're going to frame it, aren't you, and put it. It's a nice thing to do. I think I've got my first paper article of you.
What do you mean?
Well, the first thing you ever did in the paper. Have you got it at home still?
Don't think so.
It would have been a long time ago, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Great time ago.
Yeah.
James, ever done the juries?
I have done the juries in the past.
Is it hanging in the toilet at home or the stable or whatever?
They put me still when I was riding, so I was about a stone lighter and 10 years younger.
Because when it comes to pictures, don't worry about it. Because Graham Rodway's pictures over the years, I mean, he's also in the paper quite a lot today. He's done quite a lot of previews. And it's fair to say it would be difficult to, if we look watching this show, it's not in, is it? It can't possibly. And have you got your pass on you?
Yeah, I've got my
The pass
pass.
is a very different
The pass
photo.
thing is a beauty.
It's not quite Graham Rodway, I don't
It's
think.
a thing of beauty. Look
There's the camera here. There you go. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. That way. That way. There you go. Can you see that?
I mean, that is an
Very different colour
absolute
hair in that
look
one
at
there.
that.
Mr. Rodway.
Can I see? Can I see?
It's awful anyway. So
That's my
there
first
we go.
ever byline picture. That was.
So you've got nothing to worry about, Nat. I think if anything, Jack Haynes, who did the Saturday jury, has done you a right lemon, really. So
That's cracked me up. They've squashed your heads. It's like that's cracked me
They've
up.
got the
you look
dimensions right.
extremely youthful there as well, Mr. Rob. I mean, if you saw my one, I don't get in the front of the paper much these days, but it's fair to say, a long time ago as well. But anyway,
you look a bit like Robert Cowell, don't you?
Here we go. Look-alikey. So the first question we were going to ask people is, who's going to win the Arc? Who's going to win the Cambridgeshire? Who do we all look like? And plus Netman's what I get all the time. You know, the broadband advert, I get that all the time. People come around with trumpets and all that sort of thing. And like, if I wear a check shirt, people are like, you know,
There
want a picture of that.
was one famous occasion when Dave Orton was stepping in to do the tipping piece for the Racing Post, and one of our colleagues accidentally put his byline in as Robert Cowell.
Robert Cowell's incensed, apparently.
And Robert Cowell turned out as the
Actually,
Racing
Robert
Post
Cowell
tipster
wasn't
next day.
incensed. It turned out that he was actually quite flattering about me, actually. But that was a long time ago, and the picture was a little bit more stealth. So,
That was a fair time ago now.
it,
yeah.
was a long time ago. The other things that were a long time ago, 25 years ago today, there was a monumental feat in horse racing, Frankie's Magnificent Seven at Ascot. And you were there.
I was there, yeah.
A lot of people that asked me about Graham Rodway, they're like, has he just gone grey early? Turns out you are actually that old.
Yeah, I was there. I remember it well. I remember. I could only remember 3 winners this morning when the
Right.
the quiz
Don't
question
do it.
came out.
So-
but I do remember it very vividly.
Can we get the 7 winners? That's the question. So we're going to ask you out there, start punting them in. The guys in the gallery, got the top team out there today. Rob, Carl and Will be sifting through all of your interaction. You make the show. Get involved. Let's see where we go. We're dictated to by the racing. Some great racing we've got today. There's loads of sport out there today. Turn on the Power. What a good headline that was.
Thank you.
Look. I mean, Tom Kerr, the editor right now, who actually presses the buttons on these things. Tom Graham is taking your credit because that was one of your ideas, wasn't it?
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. Why not?
Well, come on. You said you were going to take credit for it, so...
Well, it was a kind of like a team decision. All of our decisions at the Racing Post are obviously made as part of a team, Dave.
Is that what you say when you get all the RPRs wrong? It's a team effort.
That's what I say when I tip losers,
Yeah.
yeah. But, no, it worked well, didn't it, with everything that's going on in the country right now?
Yeah, absolute madness out there. We won't go there, were we? But like I say, we don't panic in here. Don't panic. And the right kind of crazy is coming your way. So, shall we? There's a market. Look, it's the Royal Lodge. It's run by Frankel, of course, 10 years ago. It's a serious 2-year-old race. Bit of a mixed bag since James Millman. You are, with Barry Orr, actually on holiday at the moment, the big hitter. You are assuming the reins again, which you did so successfully for us on St Leger Day.
Yeah, it's a second Betfair James stint, as Betfair Barry is somewhere.
Betfair James.
Somewhere in the holiday sphere. Not quite sure where. But yeah, no, it's a cracking day ahead. Juvenile's coming to the fore in the Royal Lodge. Obviously, Frankel did win this contest on the way to greatness, and Carabas actually won the Frankel Maiden at Newmarket on his first start. So he's obviously the interesting one. But Masekela currently heads our market 3.2, and that would be my choice heading into this one.
And we're doing a bit of sports book. There's 7 places, as I mentioned at the top of the show, on the Cambridgeshire. Listen, it's 30-odd runners, aren't they? You're going to need as much help as you get. You're getting it on the sports book. That's the more typical bookmaker side of things. And you're going to put a lucky 15 on for us. Should we get the trade out the way?
Also 4 places for the Fillies race as well at Healy Park. So that might just help you if you fancy an outsider Desert Dreamer or something like that. But yeah, I'm going to put a lucky 15 up because I think it's a solid card. Lots of horses I quite like at relatively short prices. Masekela is our first one of the day. Going to go in the lucky 15. Andrew Bolden having a cracking season. Still just in front, is he? For the
He is.
Championship?
Yeah, he is, yeah.
Which, considering the firepower, that is a pretty
Yeah.
amazing effort. Then I'm heading off to Cheveley Park. Sacred Bridge, I'm not 100% convinced. So Sandrine, again, sticking with the Andrew Bolden theme for leg 2 of the lucky 15. Sticking with the Middle Park Perfect Power, I'm against him as well, another favourite. If I can just get the old mouse to work. Go Bears Go, who's been solid. That's one of our best backed horses of the day, is leg 3. And then going to Haydock for the final one, which is Noble Dynasty, who's in our first race at Haydock. So they will be the 4 legs in the lucky 15. Just going to get the old multiples out. £5 lucky 15, and that will hopefully give us £2,888.33 if it all comes in.
It's got a bit more than that. Look, the best part of
It's
3
gone
bags
up.
of sand. Okay, thank you very much, James. So there you are. If you want to get involved, and we always say at the top of the show, if you're not sure, we do this all for charity, of course. James will be trading in every race. We'll be giving a tip in every race. At least I think we will. Sometimes Robway likes to, sit out of it. He likes to pinpoint his times. But you don't have to play in every single race. Of course, it is safe gambling. That's what we advocate. So just if you want a bit of fun, small stake for a big return, there's your lucky 15. And thank you, James, for that.
Can we just say that when I came into the office today, the first thing that Millman said to me was, I don't like any of your selections.
Yeah, I don't agree with any of them.
Rodway. So that's obviously we've got the Ryder Cup going on at the moment.
Yeah,
so,
there's
you know,
Joshua
let's have
tonight.
a little bit of a Ryder Cup rivalry here and see who can get the most winners today.
It's a bit of a bloodbath out there at the moment. I don't know if you're watching Wisconsin, but who's going to be the States? I don't know. It's a tricky one. You don't strike me as a particularly sort of, I don't know. Would you be, I don't know, partisan? I don't know.
Partisan sort of.
Are you?
Am I patriotic?
Yeah.
Yeah, very. Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, famously so. Yeah.
During a Euros, do you put a flag in your car,
yeah.
all that sort of stuff?
Outside the window.
On the estate, you've got all the waving with
Actually,
them all.
the better we play, the more flags we get, the more go outside. And like it starts off inside, and
Yeah.
if we start looking good, like the whole house suddenly turns into.
And
like,
who's your favourite golfer for the US? You wanted to put him on the front page, didn't you? What's his name? Bryson.
DeChambeau.
Sorry,
DeChambeau.
Bryson DeChambeau.
DeChambeau. Yeah.
DeChambeau.
DeChambeau.
I can't even say it like you. DeChambeau.
DeChambeau.
Yeah,
Similar
well,
divisive characters, aren't they?
He is.
really?
Is he Canadian? Because of course you are Canadian. Well, you married a Canadian. haven't you?
You can't play for the USA.
Because
if
you
you're
pronounced
Canadian,
that
can
like you had a bit of French Canadian about you.
You can't play for USA in Ryder Cup if you're from Canada, can you? Mike Weir never played for it. It's not the same place.
Listen, Woodbine's in.
Tell you,
is
my
in
missus would
Canada.
have your head off for that if you said that Canada's the same place as US.
If you're listening,
Yeah.
Mrs.
Big
Gosden, I'm
trouble.
very sorry about that.
rivalry,
Big
big
trouble.
rivalry, big
Well, I
trouble.
don't know because Woodbine, of course, it's
North America.
considered. It's North America, but it's Canada, isn't it? So I'm like, hang on a minute. I know there's a big rivalry.
Yeah,
of course
I
there
asked
is.
that. I said that.
But Woodbine is considered to be a US track. Talking to Frankie, wasn't that marvellous last weekend?
Yeah.
He's just. Let's get serious for a second, which doesn't often happen here in the studio, pre-race. But that was marvellous, really, because Gary Barbell, who was sat on the Saturday jury with you, is just 3 years older than him, something like that, isn't it? Who won the veterans race, of course, recently at Doncaster Legends race,
Legends, not
perhaps I should
Veterans,
say.
Legends.
A little bit.
What
Right, okay.
what I like about Frankie though is because I love his Instagram account, and when he was over when he was posting loads of videos, that is just what he's amazing at, is involving you. Do you know what I mean? So even if you missed some of it or you didn't quite know what was going on, for me, you can just flick on Instagram, go through Dettori's stories, and he did a really cool piece in the weighing room, and he had this little bed. And you think, God, Frankie, we wouldn't get to see that.
And he is
otherwise.
world
Do you know what I mean?
famous, of course, isn't he? Everywhere seems to love Frankie,
Yeah.
not just here.
But it was
Yeah.
cool to get that insight, which he's very, very good at.
And good to see him back for the Boys in Blue, James. You were saying that,
yeah.
this is something that we all grew up with, didn't we? And he's, Charlie Appleby, Saib bin Sarur, it's all, it all comes alight now, back in with the Boys in Blue.
Wouldn't have seen it happening, would you, about 2012, when it all combusted with Camelot, when he rode him in
Wild
the,
Beauty, the two-year-old, and of course, whose form we're going to see advertised, and also Walton Street, of course. So,
And then yesterday, teaming up with Saeed as well.
yes.
So they are.
Yes, he
I'll
did.
say plenty of winners for the Boys in
Silent
Blue.
Whisper? Was that the horse that wins? Silent Whisper in the
Must be
finish?
soft whisper.
He was,
Soft whisper,
he was
maybe,
saying
yeah.
this morning on the opening show that he is 40 winners shy of riding 1,000 for Godolphin. So it's one of his goals before
Wow,
before
that
he
is
gives up.
insane.
Have you fact-checked
To
that?
ride 1,000 winners for one owner. That
One
would be
owner.
Incredible, wouldn't it?
Yeah. All right. So Frankie rides today, of course, and of course quite topical. Before we're going to give our selections for the Royal Lodge, he's not on what people thought would be the anti-post favourite, Uncle Bryn, Robert Havlin. Well, you've got a theory on that, Jim. You don't do it now. We'll do it near the time. But he sits on Magical Morning, of course. So will Frankie be riding the Cambridgeshire? Get in your naps of the day. What wins the Cambridgeshire? That's our final race here this afternoon on RP Live. Let's go Royal Lodge time. I think Royal Patronage is going to win this, James, but you are keen on the Fav.
Yeah, Royal Patronage out to 4.9, clear third favourite. I do like Masakela. The form is pretty strong. Native Trail just lost up to him in the superlative. That race has worked out well. And then Bayside Boy, who I think greenness cost him at Newbury, but that's strong form. He went on to win the Champagne. He's got the 4 runs in the bag, got that experience. I can hear the bear sighing already next to me. But 3.15 Masakela, Carabas is 3.4, Royal Patronage 4.9.
Yeah, so the money horse, I guess, has been Carabas, isn't it? Probably, because I thought Masakela might go a bit short. James likes Masakela. I've already said that I like Royal Patronage, the Aiken winner. You are a huge Masakela fan,
Yeah,
but
I
you've
like
not gone for
Masakela.
him.
Yeah, but I don't really bet at these sorts of odds. You know, it's short, isn't it, for only a 2-year-old
So
race.
how are you playing this race then?
Well, Aidan O'Brien's won this with some right old yaks in the past. Horses like Daddy Longlegs and Royal Dornock and Dodgy.
In fairness to him, we don't really remember those great names, do we?
He's got sort of a similar sort of horse in here, like not a very good one, but he stays. He's very tough. He's game. He'll give everything he's got. He's wearing blinkers for the first time. He's just tough and hardy, and this is the sort of horse that Aidan O'Brien wins this sort of race with. He sticks in this horse that probably isn't anywhere near as talented as these horses.
This is Houth.
Houth, yeah, sorry. Houth. No, it's Hove, apparently.
25
It's a place in Ireland.
Dishambeau.
Yeah, it's Hove, apparently. I got told off yesterday by DJ for calling it Houth.
David
It's
Jennings.
Hove.
You did the postcast with him yesterday, yeah?
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, this is just like one of these slow, battle-hardened horses that he wins these sort of races with. I love Masakela. I think his form's really, really good, but not for me at that price. And if Millman gets a point for this, you know, in the head-to-head with Gira, I actually don't think he should get a full point if Masakela wins, because it is so short in the market compared to mine. What price is mine? About 25 or something?
25's on the
And what's
exchanges
yours?
currently.
What price is yours?
It's shorting all the time, 3.1, and I'm going to take the 3.1 before it disappears.
Yeah, you better get that trade on. That's the charity trade then.
£50 win.
Nat, come on. Get that.
Matt,
I don't know where I'm going with this, because those two having a right old tear up already before the first. We can just calm things down. Who's going to win the Royal Lodge?
Well, just let me check my notes. No, I'm joking. I have done a lot of notes today. I love Carabas, but I think it's like what we've seen him once, right, in novice stakes. So I was on the train yesterday coming down, and you know what I love to do is watch replays.
You know, we've got 2 minutes for the races of you.
Well, I've got to be quicker. So for me, Carabas, it's the way that Carabas and Saga pulled clear. But to see him look so professional, so straightforward, stuck to the task, you know, wanted it, ears back, showed a bit of tenacity. I just thought this step up and trip would be no problem. He's out of a mare who won both her juvenile starts, and yeah, I think it's strong, isn't it, to say, I'm all over Carabas against a horse like Masakela. It's a big shout, but it's the way he did it, and I liked the replay, so that's why.
Yes, subsequent winners in behind him. And strangely, this is not a Godolphin type race. You can't see many side or...
Well, the best ones tend to go to Ireland, don't they, for national stakes? But talking about that
trial,
debut,
yeah.
2.88 was the biggest price he went in running. He never ever looked like getting beat. He travelled very professionally. William Buick never really asked him a serious question.
Yeah.
I think he's nice, but I just think experience might tell in the second season.
You beat me to it. The
Yeah.
once race maiden winners do not have a good record
We
in this
got
race.
done on this last year, didn't we? Last
Let's
week.
get the social up quickly. Matt Gardner, you're out there. Good to see you, Matt. You've opened the show. On form, no way Masakela loses. But so many things currently not running to form, or not running form currently. I mate, you're right about that. There have been some strange results so far. In fact, yesterday, or was it the day before, one fav, I think, across the 2 meetings at Haydock. It was yesterday at Haydock and Newmarket. A lot of people saying, is it the ground at this time of year? Catching a few of them out, James?
Ground quick enough, and also the seasons are changing.
Yeah.
A lot of horses starting to lose their coats now, because in the evenings it is getting very, very chilly. A lot of fillies in particular, they can turn pretty quickly. And yesterday we saw William Buick at a very strong book of rides heading into Newmarket. No winners. O'Sheen not quite as strong. Ben Battle, Mentee's one clear. So yeah, we are getting a few turn-ups with the odd results.
Yes, of course. We're talking about the Jockeys Championship currently between O'Sheen and William Buick. William Buick throwing a lot at it. That's why he didn't go to Woodbine, and Frankie was sent as their representative indeed. So successful that was indeed. Let's have a look. Steve Boo, the Spotlight, premium content. You get that free here, of course, on Racing Post Live. And Masakela is the call. I had this down to 2, I have to say. It was Masakela and Royal Patronage. I'm hoping that despite stall 1, the Hitman Heart...
Jason Hitman Hart.
You love saying that, don't you? Say it again, just one more
Jason
time.
the Hitman Hart.
Your day's just improved, doesn't it?
Love it.
And I'm hoping that the Hitman gets him out and goes. I can see Houth keeping him warm potentially, but I think if he just keeps going, he's one of these typical Johnson horses. I think he can see him off. And the handicapper actually thinks he's a pound better than Masakela, so I couldn't just see at the prices. Royal Patronage for me, for Mark Johnson, who's had once again another stellar year. When Carabas won, he is the fascinating one, Carabas, isn't it? I think we can say that.
He's our favourite as well now.
Is he?
3.25, 3.3 Masakela. So the market has flip-flopped.
Yeah, it has.
Wow, they're queuing up then in the exchange land to
Yeah,
back
we got caught out with
Carabas.
this sort of angle, didn't we? Good maiden winner going into a hotter race last week with Hala Afmani, who wasn't quite up to the
It took
task.
you 19 minutes to do the Hulla Hulla.
Hala Afmani. And you do have to make a big step up, don't you, from
Yeah,
winning a
huge.
maiden to
Massive.
this sort of
Huge,
race against horses like Masakela, who have really got a lot of experience, and horses like Hoof, who probably isn't anywhere near as talented as the Gulfington horse, but might know more than him.
Stalls are in the centre, of course. Do we think they're going to come stand side? If it was my jockey riding a horse for me, I would be telling them if they were, stall one, of course, so Royal Patronage is a bit more towards far side. I'd be trying to tell the hitman to get across, but tricky from stall one, I think.
Well, Thursday, you were having 3 groups and 6 runner contests.
Oh, you had to bring it up,
was an
didn't you?
absolute joke, wasn't it, really? But yeah, in the end, they ended up towards the stand side. I imagine they'll meander their way across eventually.
Yeah.
But as you say, Royal Patronage is the furthest off the apparently favoured stands
The
around.
going stick then, okay, it's 7.2 far side, 7.2 near side, 7 down the middle in the morning.
warm, Hal.
Been a
Yeah,
dry
it's in a
day.
muck
Very
sweat,
warm.
isn't
They're
it?
going in then. Good luck wherever you're playing in the opener. It's the Royal Lodge time. It's a classy sort of afternoon we're going to have here on RP Live. And away we go. And delighted to see Royal Patronage, sweaty as he might be, is right out in the lead. Seattle King is chasing, looking for some of the other big players at the moment. Where's Masakela?
He's in
Nicely
fourth.
off in 4th at the moment.
Rabus is the one tracking the Mark Johnson horse, and he might be heading far
Look on the
side.
far
They've gone
side
far
round.
side. Now, could this be an early indication for the Cambridgeshire at 3:40? The cavalry charge up the 1 mile 1. Still Royal Patronage. What sort of pace is he going? G looks fast enough.
Yeah, I think he's going along at a nice pace. He's pulling a bit in front, isn't he? The hitman's just trying to restrain him here, the leader.
Yeah, he is.
It's quite interesting, is it, that they've got the far side? I didn't expect that at all.
No, okay. What about one for the gutter? He's out the back. Seattle King lit up by the first time blinkers. Right on the outside, Unconquerable, the outside a lot. It's only Frankie Dettori. Could he be magnificent in the Royal Lodge? Okay, 3 furlongs out, James.
They like Carebus, 1.53 in the market. He's going to kick Oisin's tracking him though.
I think Royal Patronage is paceless. So
Hewitt
have
got
you
first
got this,
round.
Nat?
I hope so. It's just the way I love this horse. Look at him. He
Here
really
comes the
wants
dip.
it.
This is the famous dip at Newmarket,
Oh,
of
he's
course.
looking
When
good,
they
this
go in, get
leader.
all
This Godolphin
unbalanced.
horse looking good.
He's gone, hasn't he?
He's
This is
absolutely
gone.
gone.
Royal Patronage just didn't go. I
Oh,
don't know,
this
his
could be
pace
a
is
star,
good.
Dave. Look at him go.
Caribus, you're getting excited already,
Yeah,
Big
look
Bear.
at him go. Look at him go up this hill.
Wow, what was the last horse to win the
Go on.
Royal Lodge like this?
Was it Frankel?
It's Caribus. There you can go. Have we gone 101 yet? Not quite, because I
He's
tell you
going.
what,
Oh,
Royal
he's stopping
Patronage
now.
is coming back.
He'll
Up the hill.
hold on. He'll hold on.
I tell you what, Royal Patronage only. Oh, he's got him! He's got him! You've done a Dave Orton. I looked up thinking it was going to go 101. And would you believe it? Just like Bielsa last week, we didn't know that until the line in the Air Gold Cup. Royal Patronage has pulled it out of the fire. Caribus. Burnt. James Milner will go to him in a second. I don't think he quite went 101, did he? No, he looked up expecting a 101, and it wasn't there. What we can say is Unconquerable for Donica O'Brien. Frankie's first ride for Donica, we think, is in 3rd. Masakela, really disappointing in 4th. Matt, looks like you were right. Some horses just not running to form. James.
£32,892 at 101. He traded at the minimum.
You
Only went
said
up.
you were going to have more winners than me today. I am furious.
I'm definitely going to have more winners than
I'm
this, though.
absolutely livid.
The last time you came in on this panel, you were naught from, of course. We'll get to that.
That was the only time.
I mean,
That's the only time.
It's extending.
I'll just point out.
You couldn't even get that over the
I
line.
still
but,
flipping love this horse, Carabas. I think he's absolutely. I think he just
what's gone wrong, G?
caught out there.
I don't know. Has he not stayed?
Lest we take nothing away from the Aiken winner,
Has
by the way.
inexperience got him? Has he gone
Royal
clear? Thought
Patronage
he's done
is-
enough, and then
Well, he's run a weird race, Royal
Look, that's
Patronage,
weird
isn't he?
though. Watch Reaping as
He's almost... He's
just tied up.
He put his stick down. He's
Tied
just
up in
tied.
front.
Yeah.
Has he gone too soon, James?
In hindsight, yes,
Yeah.
he's got beat. Royal Patronage, you mentioned 2 out, got outpaced, dropped back. You thought your money had definitely gone. 960, he was traded at a high Royal Patronage. But he looks like a typical Mark Johnson stayer, doesn't he? He'll be wanting a mile and a half next year. Step him right up in trip.
Well, you got the
All he's
top
done is
team
keep
there.
galloping.
Paddy and Robin welcoming the horse in. Oh, they look at them. They're so happy with that.
he looks very happy.
Are you going to be? Cracking stuff.
Well done, anyway. Good to train. No, well done.
Listen, I'm quite bullish about today. It will probably all go wrong now, but I am going to definitely have more winners than you. I always have more winners than Jim. and
You're 1-0 up, so
we do like a bit of a wind up on this show. So look, if you were with Royal Patronage, Paul Keeley put it in his scissors this morning. What a day Keels had yesterday. It's continuing. The Acomb winner goes and follows up. Isn't that interesting? The Acomb is a race at York Ebor meeting. It tends to get beaten by a stick. Everyone thought that there were horses that didn't turn up and all that sort of stuff. He was the outside of the lot that day. But this is a proper slaying prospect, isn't it? I mean,
Witten Bassett.
A Wootton
sire
Bassett.
of the future. Bidor put all their eggs in the
Yes.
Wootton Bassett basket, and
Yeah.
it might well pay off for
It's
them.
going to be quite incredible to see Wootton Bassett to Galileo mares. I'm pretty excited. I mean, what a horse he is to look at, and that is exciting, isn't it?
Oh, who had Caribus out there with Nat? Who thought that this is the next Frankel? I even said, didn't I? I think the amount, I'll tell you what, you could do a clip show of what we say on this. I didn't think the Bielsa had won at all. Tony Ennis
But
was
that one
calling
was a
it
little bit more
goodness last
dodgy
week.
than Carabas.
Camera angles, that's another thing that we've got lots of time to talk in between the races. Our next race, of course, will be, it's probably at Haydock, isn't it?
Yeah, 205.
All right, so before we get to that, listen, let us know you're out there. I can see the chats going up, actually. I'm having a little look. I can see a few of you are delighted not to have been on Caribas. But then Royal Patronage, what price did he go in the run, James? How big did he go?
960, pennies traded at 960.
I thought he might have gone a bit bigger than that, you know, because it looked like it was
You
over.
can't, get
It
much,
can't
you
go
can't
much
go much
bigger.
bigger than that.
What's that?
Can't go any
960
bigger
to
than
1.
that,
you
really.
get
What
it.
did you say?
960.
Oh, I thought you said 9 point. Oh, right. Right.
Deary me,
Earth to
deary
Dave.
me,
Earth to
Dave Horton.
Bring back Barry Orr, I tell you. He's a lot more. Even in Dublin, I can hear him better.
Shocking.
I'm the only one with an earpiece today. I'll go with that. Oh, so he went massive. Who got involved? This is the thing about the exchange, isn't it? It's such good fun to have in running. That's what we're going to have in the studio. This is where you're going to get your real-time, interactive reaction and analysis here. What do we do with Caribas before we move on? Is this a horse that they can really look forward to? Would he go to Maidan, maybe?
I don't
Come on,
like
what do
that,
you
though,
think?
Dave. I don't like that. I don't like the way he tied up there. I mean, why did he tie up
If
so
we were to
badly?
go back on that clip, a furlong out, you're basically calling him Frankel.
Well, exactly. How does he get beat?
And he's curled up.
Well, how does he get beat? You're then asking yourself a question: how does he get beat? You don't see horses stop like that.
You don't see horses normally put 3 lengths between the field.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I think it'd
Do
be
you think
difficult.
that he
I think
don't
it'd just be
stay?
difficult.
No,
No,
I think he stays. I think he's just a little bit inexperienced.
Royal
and
Patronage,
maybe went a
we're
bit
going to
too
put
soon.
him in a Derby trial for next year.
Yeah, I'd say
Johnson's
he'll
and
keep-
Highclere
keep-
looking forward
keep
to
on
that.
Staying out of a Dalakani mare. That's all he does, isn't it? He took 3 goes to win at Epsom,
Yeah.
and then he's just really stepped up. With every
Jason Hart was
start.
great on him in the Aiken where he pretty much made it. I thought that once he got headed, I was like, Jason, what have you done here? You're not going fast enough. And the hitman pulled the trigger and off he went, didn't he? Masakela over the top.
Looked like it.
Yeah, disappointing run, wasn't it? from him?
Sondrine, of course, to come in the middle park for Team Balding. David Probert getting on that one. Will that affect the market? We shall find out. Has anyone got any juicy lays before we go to the 205 at Haydock today?
Well, overall, Perfect Power was my lay
what is
selection.
going on with that?
The problem is, I'm going to be Betfair Barry really for the day. He might be too big to put up. We'll
This
see
is
closer
the
to
3
race.
o'clock. It's the middle park. It's
have a
the
little look.
top 2-year-old sprinters. It's certainly in the UK. Although we have got an Irish horse, Dr. Zemf, that's been well backed. Perfect Power. Christophe Soumillon coming along. Stall 1. If they go far side, what's going to get him beat? Why so negative, James?
Go Bears Go with my nap of the day, to be fair. I do like him. Dave Loughnane got in Hello You to win yesterday. The horses are starting to fire again. But Perfect Power, now 3.85. I was looking more 2.85, 2.75 to be
That's
laying
a
him off.
ridiculous price, isn't it, for Perfect Power? G?
What, to win the
It's a
race?
big price, isn't it?
To win?
Yeah.
No.
He's the best horse in the race.
No, he's not.
He definitely is.
No.
Well, he comes in with the Group 1 next to his name.
But
he's the best horse in the race.
it was not a Group 1, was it? I mean, it was.
Right, we actually
It's a
asked
weak-
you. Oh, look at
it's a
this!
weak Group 1.
We are asking on YouTube and out there in social land. This is the first social poll of the day. I tell you what, they've got a target on your back.
Hold
What
on
have
a
you done to them,
second.
these boys?
How can I only be 50% to beat James Millman?
Well, James is also 50%, funnily enough. So it's, at the
52,
moment, it's a
48
very
soon.
honourable thing. Something tells me that.
Hold
might
on,
swing
where's
one
all
way
my
or the other.
fans?
What do you mean? Well, you said the Hello Hume Zone weren't very good. What do you expect out there, man? You said that trainers basically weren't very good as well a little while ago. That didn't do you much good either, did it? But of course, he does occasionally get the odd thing right. Snowfall still smarting about that one, and he was right about Dream of Dreams. Who will tip more winners today? Graham Rodway or James Millman? I love that. James.
Well, it's still 0-0,
James, you're
so
long
I'm
on
quite-
time.
I'm quite-
You're
Yeah,
long
but
on time.
my one was 20-1. Your one was like 2-1 fag or something.
You said
Jeez.
competition. Who tips the
You
most?
should actually lose a point.
Who
for that.
tips the most winners?
I think that they're still looking for
God, you're
House,
on
by the way.
fire
That's
today.
a strange one. So as you can see, we are enjoying ourselves here on RP Live. Welcome along if you just joined us. One race down. 6 for you today. Let's go to Haydock then. Come on. Let's go up to St Helens. And an interesting handicap. We do like one strongly in this, but let's get Millman to get one over the line first.
Right, we're 3.6 Noble Dynasty, 3.65 Nugget. Joints now, actually, both 3.65. I'm going to go for the Godolphin runner. Lightly raced, good claimer in Adam Farrader. And I'm going to have £30 win on Noble Dynasty. Those two are the ones dominating the market. 6 for Croft Turn, latest generation 7.2, 13s in bigger the rest. But yeah, the market can't split them at the moment. And I do believe we might be in disagreement once again.
We are. Shall we let you two joust? But I'll get it out of the way. Yesterday on the feature show that I do every Friday, I tipped Nugget. A tough individual indeed. Can go well fresh. BJ McDonald for Highclere, the quick double. I think everything points to a lovely performance here from him. And I'd be disappointed if he didn't beat Noble Dynasty personally. Adam Farah on Noble Dynasty is a jockey I like, and I can see the £5 claim. Cruyff Turn. Keith Melrose, price-wise, put him up today in the paper as well. Eye-catching last time, but is that a red herring? It's Nugget for me. James and Graham, take it away, and then we'll bring in Nat.
Yeah, no, Nugget is the bet of the day, isn't he? I think he's the nap of the day for me here, Dave. Doesn't surprise me that Millman's gone in with Fav again.
Yeah, the favourite is Nugget, 3.45, 3.75 Noble Dynasty.
Mine was a lot
So you'll be
bigger.
losing a point if you
So
win.
obviously, all my fans are just piling into it now. But
Oh, the poll is swinging one way. I don't know. You Gov are getting involved in everything.
this horse is just far better than his current mark, Dave. I mean, he won that race. Oh, no, again, we can get this. I mean, what's the spring double? Now, for me, the spring double for flat horses is the Lincoln and the Spring Mile. But people were telling me yesterday that it's the Grand National and the Lincoln. Yeah, you can't do the spring double.
No, that's ridiculous. Who told you that yesterday?
Millington was telling me that, and then someone
What?
else emailed me this morning and said, no, it's definitely the Grand National and the Lincoln. But anyway, he won the Spring Mile, this horse, Nugget, and then like he should have won the first Cunt Cup. It was like one of the worst rides I've ever seen in my whole life. It was like,
Sean
he's
Levy
just
under a bus
he
there.
got in all sorts of problems. He was out the back, and then he was absolutely hard on the steel on the inside, and then the horse absolutely flew home. Would have won easily. Would have won like 5 lengths with a clean run, and ended up getting beaten in the neck.
Yeah,
The
they
only
wanted to go
problem
to
is-
Royal Ascot and he had a bit of a problem, didn't they?
This is the problem, isn't it? He's been off since
Yeah.
147 days. I mean, I don't mind. I'm sure that if you ask Sean Levy, he'd probably accept that it wasn't his finest hour. I mean, we've got PJ McDonald taking over here. As long as the horse is fit, I think this horse will definitely win. But that's the worry, isn't it? The break.
I don't want to preempt it, but PJ McDonald tends to be a more sort of positive jockey, doesn't he?
Oh no,
he likes
he
to
is.
get on
And
with it,
yeah,
doesn't
he gets on with it, and
Yeah.
God, he is an absolute like dynamite to the finish. He is strong as an ox. He is. Yeah, he is very sort of positive.
Well, hold your tip, Nat, because you are in you like Noble. You like what was the favourite?
1.43 at Thirsk when he got beat, and 1.88 in the run at Nottingham when he got beat, Nugget. I'm just worried about the 147-day absence. Is he going to be quite ready? And I think he might just need it. I like Noble Dynasty. As you mentioned, the jockey's riding well. To actually William Haggershire, it's taken him a little while to get used, I think, to British racing, but it's really clicked in recent days. Russell was a nice winner for the horse watchers at Goodwood on Wednesday. He had a big winner for his boss as well in the Fillies.
Irish Admiral, he was on at red card that time.
So he's riding well. He's only had the 4 starts. He won nicely at Thirsk last time. That was pretty impressive. He's only £2 higher, taking off the apprentice claim. I just felt going for the value in Noble Dynasty. I'd like to go for the favourites, 3.45 Nugget, and we'll leave it at that.
Learning the game, James, isn't he? Nat, what wins the 205 at Haydock?
Well, I was
Get
interested.
it right. Naught from, no pressure.
That was close. I actually quite like Cruyff turning this. What do you mean a red herring? Because what I liked about
Oh, picked up on that one.
I did pick up on that one. Is I like it when you see an eye catcher, and it was an eye catcher because
Yeah.
to me, it was a decent fourth, having so much left to do. And again, on the train, I watched the replay a couple of times. I just thought, actually, he's actually done pretty well to get fourth there. And
Graham was naught from last week up until that race when Revic gave him a 25 to 1 shot. He's gone from naught? He was naught from 8 points. He's gone to 24 plus. It just shows you how it works. 22 points clear or whatever you were then. All of a sudden,
I am generally that kind of tipster. I'm a low strike rate tipster who, when they go in, win at big prices, and then suddenly you go from losing lows to winning lows.
Yeah.
That's my MO.
Well, I'm hoping his strike rate improves in this race with us agreeing on Nugget. Cruyff Turn, when he won at York, strong race. They did it pretty much from the front. Changed tactics last time.
yeah, but
and
then need to readopt.
I think the race was
tactics.
over by the time he got out, and I don't know. It was very eye catching. I'll
It
give
was,
you
but
that.
it needs to readopt the York tactics. It's got to be positive.
To get on with it.
Yes, get on
Yeah.
with it. Get going. Hopefully, Cam is going to do that. And I actually think, they would have had that discussion. Tim would have said, let's go back to, because obviously too much left to do, and then obviously there's no chance of him getting to the line. So, yeah, again, I'm not going with the favourite this one, and I think this has got a proper shout in this Cruyff Turn. Tim Eastby knows what he's doing, and you've got to have a selection, haven't you?
Yeah.
We can't all agree.
No, well, lest we not. Absolutely, yeah. Let's see who else the social guys agree with. There's a Nugget for the spotlights as well. Neil Dawkins comes back on and says, Affark overpriced. Oh, Affark. Do you know what? The first thing I did to Neil was see how old he was. because he has got proper old school Hunt Cup type form, hasn't he, and stuff. He did have his day in the sun. Kieran Schumacher, no problems with that. Charlie Hill's having a good run as well.
It's been not the same since that though. That
Was
run
that a
got to
prep last time for
2019,
something
wasn't
like
it?
this, James, do you think?
Well, there's a bit of money for him. He's now 7.6, as both Noble Dynasty and Nugget do drift a little bit in the market. They're 3.8 and 4 respectively. But yeah, it could well be. He's got the ability to win, hasn't he? 32 days since that 5th at Newbury. You haven't seen him hardly at all in recent days. So yeah, the 7-year-old, he's not getting any younger, but what was he, 105 a year ago? So he is well treated.
Yeah, he is well treated. I'm going to coin one of my phrases here that you love to hear me say. He needs everything to go his way, this horse.
Love that one now.
G thinks I might write the odd cliche every now and then. Never. United front ran very well. Let's give them all a mention. Josie Gordon and Mick Appleby ran really well last time, but against the handicapper got him, turning out a little bit late. And the latest generation is an interesting one for the Crisfords and Jack Mitchell. If it settles, it's more than capable of having a say here, but it disappointed me a little bit earlier in the year, and I've jumped off.
Yeah, well, last at Deval, wasn't it? And
They're all in, and away
Ooh.
we go. All right then, 2:05, and you will be very happily, Natalie.
well,
Green,
I'm not
because
sure. I did a bit of a bunny hop out there.
The
Worried me for a
Cruyff
minute.
has turned in front, and away he goes, leading Noble Dynasty. Really good looking horse, Noble Dynasty, isn't he, on the inside? Latest generation, all about settling, as I said. Jack Mitchell thinks that will be the case because he's put him up there in third. United front going on. Nugget out the back with Afark, settled out the back and wants to go a little bit quicker. How quick are they going, Graham Rob?
Yeah, I mean, the pace is all right, Dave. He's stepping on the brake now, though, of course, as they go around this one turn that they have. That inside draw has been a bit crucial here because Millman's horse has got a good position right in front of mine. I hope he don't box me in.
Let's
Adam
hope he
Farah
does.
will be looking for room then. James, what's the market saying? Round about 3.5 out.
Yeah, we're similar to what we were pre-race. Crefton is your 4 to 0.5, actually shortening all the time as you enter the home straight.
Very warm though, isn't
This
it?
is what you wanted to see. Come on, don't look for
no, I
negatives.
do. I know.
Your confidence has eroded, Natalie Green.
You're doing it to me. I'm a bit worried about the latest generation here. I don't know.
Delighted to hear that.
Yeah.
Come on, Nugget. Get through
Nugget
that
needs
gap.
the run. So
Get
Cruyff
through that
turned.
gap.
He's had a picnic up front, this horse, the Cruyff has.
Come on,
Will
the
he see
Nugget.
them off? Noble Dynasty, Adam Farah is in.
Come
a
on,
double
Nugget.
box.
Cruyff,
Nugget's
Nugget
absolutely
needs
cruising.
to get
Come
going.
on, then,
Nugget.
Nugget. What have you got, my friend?
Come on,
Cruyff turn's still
Cruyff.
going.
No.
Latest
Come on,
generation looks a
Nugget.
sitting duck. Come on, the Nugget.
Come on, the Nugget.
PJ McDonald, strong as an
Oh.
ox in a finish, said Natalie
Come
Green.
on.
Afar, winding up down the
Why?
outside. Looks like Cruyff turns just about
Come on,
gone.
Nugget.
Latest generation. Will Nugget be fit
Go on,
enough to see
Nugget.
him off? Look at how far coming over
Go
the
on,
top as
Nugget.
well. Latest generation on the inside.
Go on,
Nugget's
Nugget.
getting up. And he
Yes.
just sees off Afark finishing close. Neil Francis, you must have thought you had that at one point. The three went both pretty much together. Cruyff turned, set him up. Noble Dynasty didn't get much of a run, but there wasn't much there when he was out. And the United front, it did come a little bit too soon for Josie Gordon and Mick Appleby. What excitement that was. The nap goes in, Graham Rodway. You're Graham Rodway.
Are you just going to let me talk instead?
No,
are
I'm
you?
just waiting for you to.
Oh, you're one.
I'm waiting for the
what I mean, though?
congratulations. Tell me how great
I'm
it
afraid-
is.
See what I mean
I'm afraid
with
my
about
jockey got
PJ
stuck in the
McDonald's at
rail,
the finish?
unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
He is mesmerising to watch. Like, he is still so strong. I swear.
PJ
to
McDonald.
You. Yes.
I want to talk
At
about
the
this.
Finish.
I want to talk about this
Unbelievable.
because PJ stock has gone down a little bit. It has. If you remember Lawrence and these horses, it looked like he was going to get a massive job. He sort of went to Mark Johnson, he didn't get the opportunities. He rode on the all-weather. He just, for whatever reason, his stock went down a little bit. Here he is on a Saturday riding big winners for Richard Allen and the Highclere Brigade.
Right, it's one of my favourite things. On the jumps, this is what Dickie Johnson was so good at. Strong as an ox, powerful.
Former jump jockey, of course.
Yeah, really PJ, of course. And, you know, a lot of them are, Graham Lee, whatever. But when you actually watch him right at the finish, I swear he just gets the absolute best out of the horse. Look how low he gets, and it's his power. Because that was a fantastic ride.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people.
we enjoyed that, didn't we? Because he must have gone low, James, because he was cruisy. It looked a case of pressing the button. He actually took a lot of time to get the job done.
What was key was those 4 horses matched at under 2 in that contest. Nuggets,
Wow.
he went down to about 1.3 and then went back out to 6, as it did look like a closer was going to come over the top. Luckily for Graham Rodway, he just held on.
Hey, not just Graham Rodway, I'm 2 for 2. I told you I was going to have my winners in all of
I'm
you
not
today.
too fast, it's just this one.
You've got to blow your own trumpet, as we well know, James. Let's not go down that road. Okay, all right, what fun we're having with 2 races in. here this afternoon on Racing Post Live. Welcome along if you're just joining us. Where have you been? This is what you get here. Real-time analysis and reaction with showcasing the functionality of the exchange. And he got that one wrong. And James is doing all the trading today. And James, there is a Twitter poll out there. There was a YouTube poll out there. It was 50-50. He's got a march on you.
He has. He's got 1-0 up. We've got 4 to go. So I'm still think we'll be on top. It'll be all right. No worries.
All right, great. All right, we've got the Cambridge here to come, of course, 3:40. That is our last race this afternoon. Nat.
What?
We are, I don't want to know what it is now. So we've got a couple of Group 1s coming up now. Come on, cream rises, doesn't it? We're looking forward to this, aren't we?
Yes, of course we're looking forward to it. I'm gonna get 4 wins now.
How's the
I'm
jury
gonna get
going?
4.
That was in the Saturday jury today, if you didn't know that. You put something up at Market Raisin, didn't you?
Oh, caramelised for Alan King.
What time's that run?
To
James is looking.
Soon.
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 Something.
2-ish. You
Two-ish.
can say that because trying to find the exact race time is one of my bugbears at the minute.
2:47. What time?
We have no-
Still not happy with
What
that. you
time?
know.
What time?
And let's face it, they're not getting off on time anyway, are they? A little blow there. Let's hope they do
Sorry,
get
Dave,
off on time.
2:45.
I should have known that.
2:45.
7 to 4 on currently. Betfair.
Oh, yeah, I did say, to be fair,
did say.
in the jury, I said, imagine, I was
It
going to
wasn't
say
just you that put it
hot
up.
favourite, but I was like, I'll just say favourite, because I thought it would be, because it isn't often you see jumpers like him at such an early stage in the season and his career to jump as fluently as he does. He's class, and exactly the type of horse for Kingy. Could he be the next catch it? Huh?
Did jump well both times.
Beautiful, stunning, like just whoom, amazing. You don't
All
always
right.
see that early
So
on.
there you go, 2:45 if you want to get involved in
Thanks,
that
trying
on
to help me,
Caramelise.
aren't you? Trying to get me a win,
Oh,
aren't
listen,
you? Trying to help me out.
Listen, the hoodoo, it does end.
I'll
as
tell you,
Graham
if
knows.
that gets beat, that's minus 3 points, that is.
Yeah, fair.
Do
fair.
you must, the pressure's off a little bit now. I mean, the naps have gone in.
Well, yeah, Millman's in trouble now. He's already
He's-
lacking. There's only 4 races left to go.
Staring down the
One
barrel.
up with 4 to play in Ryder Cup terms.
Yeah.
And I expect that poll's down to like 99% for G-Rod now.
Should we give him a chance to get back on terms in a Group 1?
I'm a little bit worried I put the eggs in the Andrew Bolden basket. And that's okay.
Oh, come, you're not one of those punters, are you? That's like, oh, the first one's been beaten and all that sort of thing. He's got massive yard, man. Come on.
He's had such a good season. At some point, they were going to start to.
He is
fall off a
currently
little.
Yeah, he's
on
the best.
track to beat champion trainer.
Yeah.
He is currently on track. So I'm hoping
He
Sandrine
had the best season.
keeps him on track.
This has got the probes on it as well, hasn't it? David Probert, I chatted to yesterday. As he
Cracking
making
racing
his right
prospect. 1, 2, 3. The principals are drawn, and as we saw, they came far side in our previous race, which we weren't expecting. That's safe to say. Probably the other side, stand side, you're expecting. So that is a positive. Zane Claudette, I do love his filly. I've always been a real fan of hers. I felt the penalty that Sandrine tried to give away at
You've
York.
put her up a few times on this show, haven't you?
Yeah, Princess Margaret when she just got up
That's it.
in the Lothar at York. But I just felt today she might be vulnerable off levels against Sandrine. Sacred Bridge, she's good in Ireland. She's got to transfer it across to the UK. I think she deserves to be favourite, but I think she's vulnerable. The angle I'm going to look forward to is Flotus, a back to lay angle in this, because
Nice.
1, 2, 3 is the draws of our favourite. She's in stall 13 and making all the running at Ripon the last time out. She just blitzed and didn't see which way they went. 4.5 lengths clear of Hello My Darling. I think similar tactics will apply. So I'm going to put £20 on at 10, which will give me a profit.
And Ripon wouldn't be
of
the easiest
180.
track, would it? Because Ripon's for people that Ripon's bizarre, like it's quite undulating, it's a bit up and down.
It's the
quite-
most
quite-
undulating
tough.
track, isn't it?
It's a tough,
Can we
it's
agree
a
on
tough
that?
track.
The humpy bump.
So Chepstow, I'd say the most undulating. Ripon is mini undulation.
roller
that come
coaster.
up a lot quicker.
Mini
It's
undulations.
like a roller coaster for
Ridges.
1-year-olds.
Ridges.
would be a better word.
Is it like running on the cobbles in the old London Marathon? You know, they used to go down past the tower and you had to go over the cobbles
It's
at
a
20
bit
miles.
like when you go to fairground, the roller coaster for like 1-year-olds, like the Caterpillar one. You know what I mean?
You
It's
said-
a very sedate roller coaster.
I don't know. So what, we've got to have a very well balanced horse. Is that?
Yeah,
right?
not,
Yeah.
not
So
all.
the dip should be all right for Flotus, right?
Yeah, not going to be an issue. So she's currently 10. Put £20 on. I'm going to go short as 3 in running, and put 50 up in the back of stake selection. So if she gets matched at 3, I'll get an £80 profit if she gets beat. No, sorry, if she wins, and if she gets beat, I'll get a £30 profit.
That's a nice angle in. I like that. You're learning this game, Millman. You kept it brief there as well.
And you've got to press to
He's
keep-
He's going to script. Everything we thought.
Well,
you
we're
would,
trying
you
to,
are.
apart from the fact this.
Is he irritating you? Is he
Muppet
putting you
next
off?
to me.
Not the only person who's got him a Muppet in this offices. Do not worry about that. Let's get some social interaction up there.
Aw,
There's
you're getting a bit stick today,
there's the Haydock. He doesn't mind. He's big and ugly enough to take care of it. Mark Smith says, I think Zane Claudette will run a massive race too in the 225 at Newmarket, improving. Do you agree? Has anyone gone outright for the Zane? For Claudette?
No.
No, I haven't either.
fear.
I think that I'm worried about the £3 swing, Mark. And Sandrine, if you watched back the start of York last time, wasn't quite
I think
ideal for us.
it would have been a lot closer. So yeah, I'm deserting, and the market's also deserting. She's 8.4 Zane Claudette.
That's
and
massive,
Sandrine
isn't it?
4.5.
Is that an Ishmael Mohammed, do you think, G, in a Group 1? Do you think Saturday punters, if you like, are, people that wouldn't bet during the week and watch the terrestrial races now, watch RP Live and go, hang on a minute, who's Ishmael Mohammed?
Maybe, yeah, maybe. I think it's probably more that it just looked to me like the best horse in that York race finished second, and the market is sort of suggesting that here as well.
Do you expect the track to suit one or the t'other better? Because Zane Claudette had looked happy at that sprint, finish at Ascot where it's on the climb, and I was worried about her in the Lowther about whether York would be too quick. She showed something different to me there.
Yeah, I just don't think they're very good, this lot. Like Sandrine, Zane Claudette, Flotus, Desert Dreamer. They're all sort of the same horse.
So you're on the Fav.
Yeah, the Fav's like different gravy.
He's
the
playing a
Fab is
dirty
different
game
gravy.
today,
As
isn't
soon as he came up with a suggestion, we'll have a little points bet. He knew he was putting in shorties.
This is the sort of thing that Tony
It's
Ennis
just,
does. He loves the Fav.
Hold
and
on a
if you go in
second.
match with him-
Hold on a second. He was on Noble Dynasty in the last race. That was 13-8 favourite overnight. Mine was 11-4.
The market's.
I can't guess what's going to happen in the market here.
Not having
We
it.
could split them up. There is a Twitter poll out there, and you can get involved in this on YouTube and all that. So who's going to tip more winners today? If you went in the Millman camp,
Well, it'll be over after this one.
you think so?
He's going to need 3 winners after this one.
So
wins.
Sacred Bridge
why
wins,
are they
right?
going to need 3?
Well, because there's only 4 races left,
With
and when this one wins,
and the bigger prices will be my selection.
No, we're going. I'll be 2 up with free to play. You'll have to have them all, like in the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be lying on that.
Anyway, this horse has won like 4 in a row, hasn't it, Sacred Bridge? And last time out, it absolutely hammered them at Curragh in a good time.
The second at Air, geocentric.
Unbeaten, yeah.
A little bit disappointing.
It's part of a 2-pronged assault today on the Group 1s.
I think the
juvenile Group
worry
1s,
is
the Joe Lyons.
the Jur, isn't it? The Jur in Britain's a pretty awful angle, isn't
remember
it?
when Siskin came over it?
I get where you're coming from with that train of thought, but when he's given like these seriously well-bred, seriously expensive juveniles, he has shown what he can do with them. This time, he's
Not in Britain, though.
no, I know.
I mean, I think he's had 2 winners in Britain in the last 5 years, which is absolutely
On
atrocious.
trends, there are
2
3
from 31.
qualifiers for this, by the way. She's one of them, Sacred Bridge. Zane Claudette and Sondra.
I mean, I still think this horse will win,
Yeah.
but that is
That is the fact.
that is the worry. But I like this horse.
You think Carl's a much of a muchness, and she is different gravy.
Her turn of foot was amazing, wasn't it, last time? The acceleration was amazing.
I mean, I've backed both of Jur's horses today because I don't really believe in these statistical angles.
How
in
good
that
is
sense,
Colin
but-
Keane as well, James? He's absolutely different gravy, isn't
Yeah,
he?
interesting. Christophe Simeon rides Tarnoir. The French retained Aga Khan jockey.
Bit tough on Colin, that.
They gelled, didn't they, together? But that is obviously the way it goes with your retained jockeys in
Aga
the
Khan
different
would have been
countries.
calling that.
But yeah, he's having a cracking season. And Ger Lyons in Juddmonte, 17 winners they've had in Ireland this year. Not just Sacred Bridge, but I really like one that won on Monday at Fairyhouse. Straight Answer, absolutely bolted up in these colours, one listed race. I think Graham makes a good point. They are much of a muchness, our fillies over here, and I think she deserves to be favourite. It's just crossing the water. Slight question mark. She's had 4 quite hard races, and
They do tend to just hit the crossbar at the minute for Ger, don't they? That's the thing. We saw at Air, he had one on the Friday, one on the Saturday.
The thing you have to ask yourself with these statistics and that sort of is why? Why is that happening? Why? Now, is it just because he hasn't had the good chances, he hasn't had the good horses, or is there something more to it? We don't really know. But if these 2 horses he's got here running today both get beat, you'd start to wonder, wouldn't you?
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
You're happy to hear that there are 4 places on the sportsbook because you're hoping for one at a slightly bigger price. This is when the hoodoo's finished, by the way. This is where you get on back on the winners when you think, oh, I've got a bigger price one here. It tends to knock in like this.
Say get back on the winners because I think Sacred Bridge is either going to be something really special, and I did really enjoy that turn of foot that she showed last time. I mean, she didn't just pull away; she properly put it to bed, which was awesome to watch. But for me, I think I also actually completely agree with you. The others are much of a muchness, but I don't think mine is so much of a muchness. Desert Dreamer, she surely has been the unluckiest filly in training this whole flipping season. Yes, the saddle sit last time, she got a tongue over the bit. She's got the tongue tie on today. God, everything's just gone so flipping wrong
A
for her.
passionate case.
Because wouldn't it be so nice, though, for Stuart Williams as well to win his first Group 1? I know he's been knocking on
Yeah.
the door with a couple of Group
No
3s.
one's going to disagree with that.
But she finishes her races strongly. She travels well. Because I do think Sacred Bridge obviously does look pure quality, I'm trying to look elsewhere and
She is, of course, a rolling mile winner, isn't she? Of course, she's been to this track
Twice.
Yeah.
Which, to me, it's course form. She travels well. It would be a good story, but also she's just been so flipping unlucky. The saddle slip and the tongue over the bit. I mean, because when the tongue goes over the bit, as James, you got
Yeah,
no
you lose a
flipping
little bit of
control.
And you've got the Ush
Got
is
no
riding as
control.
well, isn't he, Usheen?
Yeah,
I think the 4 places on your sportsbook is a great angle because she's very consistent.
Yeah.
Dave mentioned the Newmarket angle. The first 2 runs at the track were pretty decent.
First time
on
tongue
the
tie
rolling
goes
mile.
on, so it's there, isn't it? And
Yeah, it's just she's looked. Her limit has been found.
Yeah.
But I think she will be in the 4, and she's quite a big price for that. She's currently 18s outright on the exchanges.
which is great. So we can have her to hit the frame.
do you know who I think's a whopping price in this? Eve Lodge.
Yeah, that's been
I'm
tipped.
surprised
For
she's
Charlie
actually
Fellows.
running.
It's the ground, I think, that might have... Because they said at the start...
85.
She was a right gamble at Royal Ascot, wasn't she, when the rain came, and she disappointed that day. But that's Kempton form last time. It's been very, very well advertised. We'll get to that in a sec once we get some more social interaction from Paul Bakewell. Comes back onto the show. Good to see you, Paul. I know you're out there on the chat as well a lot, which we absolutely love, and I'm a big fan of.
Consummate ease.
Completed all right, you got there before me. Come on, give me a second. I'm trying to interact with the man.
Now he thinks he can do everything. He's
Oh yes, he does. He does. Would you
full-
like this earpiece that
full-
keeps
full
clipping out of my ear?
Well, once I get a winner, I can do anything.
All the wins are consummate ease. Today, I see no difference. So the ball is big for Paul Bakewell, and all of us out there who watch this show regularly know that Paul does like to knock them in. One more coming in, and Neil Francis comes back on and says, Desert Dreamer each way, with Nat, very solid and consistent, and you would add into that something unlucky.
Flipping unlucky, I said.
Absolutely. You
Flipping.
did make my heart murmur a little bit.
No,
when
I
you
did
said
say
that.
flipping.
As I noticed.
Flipping unlucky.
Listen, don't worry. We've had characters in here that have lost it
Matty
in running
Batch, I
before.
can't
and
imagine Matty
Millington
Batch
was the first one that said it.
Mel Rose called something, didn't he?
Did he? Yeah, it was Bruce Millington and Goshen, which was the launch of this show in 2020 when Goshen came to grief at the last.
was he on?
We've had to put a monkey emoji over that face when we do the highlights for that because it went on. He actually said straight afterwards, just like, HR are going to be on me, you know. because we still have features in those days pre-COVID, you know, and all that sort of thing. Hopefully they're coming back, by the way. We're starting to open up a little bit more, aren't we? It's great to see. We've got all the sporting events back. You were at the St. Ledger recently. Great to have the crowds. That's very much a part of what you do at the racecourse, isn't it? Interaction.
Yeah, it was amazing. Like, I can't explain. You get used to it. We got used to being behind closed doors, and it was
Weird,
so
that, isn't it?
soulless. But then when we went back to Doncaster, there were moments. This is an awful thing to say. And I was like, God, I can't even get through the crowd to go to the loo. I couldn't even move in this place.
The oiks have
I
returned.
can't even move in this place. But then I just stood around. I was like, how
That's
great
unlike
is
you,
this,
Nat
though?
Green.
How great is this? And the
Yeah.
police horses were outside. I went and gave them a good old pat, and I did a
course
little
you did.
piece on them and buzzing around. I was just everywhere.
Newbury last weekend as
Yeah.
well. You were there for ITV.
Yes, I was. That was. I was there as well. I saw him, but I was more in the paddock that day, so you don't get the same buzz
Yeah.
like when you are out and about. Like Doncaster was at its best. There was people, well, no, not on the floor, but I mean having a great time.
Oh, haven't we
Don't
missed
do-
it? Absolutely. People rolling all over the floor.
floor.
The tabloids have missed that, haven't they? I mean, you know, on Grand National Day, no one wants to see Red Marauder or whoever wins
No.
it. They just want to see the Liverpudlians.
No, but it was great. It was great. The atmosphere was amazing, and it was quite a sophisticated affair, actually.
Yeah, we've got the boxing tonight, and we AJ
Yep,
versus the unpronounceable.
very much looking
Usyk.
forward to that. Are you?
Yeah, very much looking forward to that. Ride a couple of moments, bit of a bloodbath out there, we think, but it's great to have that back with fans, albeit them Americans as well, and of course here at racing as well. Champions Day. Who's going to Champions Day? Who's going over to the Arc? Paul Keeley's going over to the Arc.
Rob might go.
Rob, our producer.
Rob.
Imagine that.
Our
Rob. We say good farewell if he makes that bon voyage. Let me tell you, if he goes over there. Who's going over to the Arc? Who wins the Arc? We've got a bit of time after the middle part, 3 o'clock, to the 3:40 at Cambridge. I'm going to be asking you all sorts of questions out there. Is it Tanawa? Is it Hurricane Lane? William Buick, quick to get onto Adyar, wasn't he? Is it a total curveball? What anti-post burners have you got to Snowfall? Do we still give her another chance? Is she too big now? Who was on Wonderful tonight? The weather doesn't look too bad either. It's all out there, isn't it? Glass Slippers is going for another go at the Labbe after her lovely win. After a lovely third, she won that race a couple of years ago, didn't she?
What was the horse that won the 5 furlong race at the trials meeting there at Longchamp? It looks like a superstar. I'll try and find it, but that will surely win the Abbey if it gets a good draw.
All right.
It won the 5 furlong
You can't
race
just tease us like that. You're gonna have to...
on Pre-Foy Day and Pre-Meal Day. French horse, yeah.
Funny enough, I didn't see much
we'll
else on
find it,
Foy
we'll
Day
find it
because
for you.
all the races were at the same time, weren't they? It was an
Oh,
absolute
it was
shambles.
a disaster.
Come
You
on,
know,
people.
it was a disaster.
Yeah, absolute shambles. But unlike this Cheveley Park is going to be, I was just trying to think who won the Cheveley Park last year. Remind me. Oh, it was alcohol-free, of course, wasn't it?
Yep.
So could the Baldings put it off again? I'm hoping so. Desert Dreamer for Natalie Green. The Fav, Sacred Bridge
Yeah.
for the Rodders and
This
Mr. Mormon.
is to bury
He's
Millman.
backing
This
to
is,
lay
we're going to bury
Floaters.
Millman with this one.
Bernoy was the horse. I'll not pronounce that right.
Bernoy.
We'll get to that afterwards. So he thinks he's found the Labbe winner as well. Let us know all your anti-post tips. What about Breeders' Cup? We've got it all to come, haven't we? Cannot wait. And guess what? There are some jumpers coming back out. 2 weeks' time, we'll be covering the Chepstow, what they now call the season opener as well. Oh, exciting times to be on planet Earth. All right, how many more have we got to go in? James, who are they queuing up to back? You like that one, do you?
Sacred Bridge, they are following the Rodway in. 2.76 currently heading the market. 4.2 for Sandrine. Zane Claudette's 8 solid. Flotus is a bit weak out to 14.5. So if you are backing her pre-racing a layer off and running, you've got a little bit more to play with at the moment.
Can anything lead her? That you're hoping not.
I'd be surprised. Having the tactics work so well at Ripon, you'd imagine from
Our
still 13.
handicappers rated that Ripon win, by the way, as one of the best juvenile performances of the season.
It looked very good, and she looked very good at Goodwood on debut. It's just in between disappeared. a
Everyone
little
thought
bit.
she wanted soft ground. It was that Albany run, wasn't it? There was a bit of a red herring. All right, here we are then on RP Live, third race of the day. 6 beauties coming your way. Good luck wherever you're playing. It's Group 1 time. Class, Cream, Rising. Where are they going to go? Will they go far side? Let's find out. It is the 225, all in successfully. At 226, not bad by current
Yes,
standards.
now go to the far side. What do you reckon?
And away
Oh, no,
they
they're
do
coming
go.
near
And
side.
it is Flotus on the near side, who is, you'll be happy to see that, Mr. Millman, burning up the dust. Desert Dreamer for Nat and Sondream for myself out the back with Sacred Bridge as well. So we've come stand side. G, how fast are they going?
Yeah, I don't think they're going mad, and this thing in front's getting quite an easy up the round. I'm a little bit worried here, Dave.
I'm not sure I want to be right at the back. I'm not.
Well, Desert Dreamer's travelling, isn't she? And
Yeah, she is, but-
Jean's this is going to get a bit messy, I think. There's a couple on the rail that are going to suffer slightly. James?
Yeah, Flotus went as short as Southern. She's on the front end. Desert Dream is travelling nicely at the back. In the middle, Sacred Bridge not going too bad at the moment. She's 3.3. Now
Tell you what, they're going to struggle to get to Flotus here, I think, a little bit, aren't they?
I hope not, Dave.
Where's Sondrine? Right on the far side. Dave Probert, we're thinking, what have I done wrong? Okay, because it is on the near side at the moment they come.
Oh, he's
It's
cruising.
Flotus.
He's
She's cruising.
cruising.
How will she handle
Oh
the
my
dip?
goodness.
Here comes
Come on,
Sondrine right
Sandrine.
down the outside. And
Come
what's
on,
this up
Sandrine.
the rail as well? Furlong out. Tenebrism as well for Ain't
Come
No
on,
Doubt One
Desert
More.
Dreamer, get that
But
little
it
white
looks
face
like
up.
it's going to be Flotus.
Oh,
no, it's gonna get caught. It's gonna
Here
get
comes
caught.
Ryan Moore.
As it's
We're going to
flying.
see another gubbin on the rail. Oh my goodness, Ryan Moore right in the last gasp. Sees off Flotus. Must have thought they had it there. Phil for James Doyle and the Crisfords. We've seen 2 races so far at Newmarket. The bird has flown only to have its wings clipped on the line. This is 1 from 1 in some very interesting colours. Of course, there's the Beresford Stakes over at the Curragh today. The Westerbergs, a new collaboration with Team Ballydoyle. 1 from 1 it turned up. We didn't give it much thought beforehand. The market didn't like it, James, but it looks pretty special to my eyes.
Hadn't been seen since March.
Yeah.
Winning debut. Looked good on that occasion. Obviously picked up an injury. This one, Betfair SP 18 to 1, 200 to 1 in running. But what is key? Stands rail. I think that was a huge bonus. We see the head on now. Flotus, those who join me in the back to lay angle. I thought the back angle was going to actually land it, but 1.2.
Yeah, good shout, James. That we'll give you that one. You
in
didn't
running.
burn him there. You didn't bury him.
No, I didn't bury him, but he didn't win, luckily.
Sacred Bridge will come to
still
her in a second.
It's not good. It's not good from James Doyle, in my opinion. I mean, he's on the round.
He's come off the rail.
You've got to stay there. You
You've
know,
gotta stay there.
You can't let Ryan come up your inside like that.
Has she not just edged that way a bit now?
She's hung. He is trying, but it's a good point.
He's
'cause
trying now.
He's
See,
left a gap.
she's just.
But she's just got a bit tired. Look how far clear she is of the other British Raiders. That's a cracking run from Flotus.
It's Sondrine in third. She's run really well considering the draw,
Was I
hasn't she?
4th or 5th?
Unfortunately, you were 5th.
She was in 2. 5th for the 4 places,
Gutted.
Natalie.
Oh, do you know what?
We'll let Nat recover.
I'm
And a
not
lot of
going to
you out there that
recover.
went 4
But
places
it's
on the
hard.
sportsbook.
It would be hard. there was a thing about Aidan O'Brien, but because obviously some of his massive wins have been in France, over in America.
There's a big thing about pattern 2-year-olds this year, aren't there?
Exactly. So kind of people have gone off that a bit. But then how could you pick this? Because at the end of the day, that Nace was really impressive on the debut.
This is the best trainer that any of us have ever come across, isn't it?
5 furlongs on soft ground.
Can you name a better trainer than Aidan O'Brien? Is he just the top?
Are
of the
you
top?
trying to wind me up here?
Well, no.
Yeah, but I don't know how you'd pick
I
it
need
over
to
5
interview him next week,
furlongs
G. Do not say anything.
on soft ground and then not seen since March. Why, you wouldn't...
Well, she's obviously speed up an injury, but it's a logical step. You get him out early.
Yeah.
I think she was their Royal Ascot contender, and obviously that's what Bidor have lacked all year, isn't it? With the 2-year-olds, there's been no star, and maybe this was the one that was in the box.
Now this is the
Exactly.
Luxembourg
Exactly.
colours. What time? It's got. Is it gone actually? The Beresford Stakes in Ireland. Has it already been?
I think it's.
Look, we're concentrating, of course, domestically here. Has the this is the race which 10 of the last. And
It's 1 minute's time, and we got it
in
on our
1 minute's
screens
time,
in
it's
front of
going
us.
off. Luxembourg, he's been smashed in the betting in these colours. This is usually where their Derby horse come. Like so Japan, I don't know who else has won it. All the top horses they run in this race. Sea the Stars won it, of course. And this is the Beresford at the Curran at 2:30. We're going to chat about it as it's on actually, and the O'Brien's
1.75
probably
currently.
1.75. These colours they've made a worldwide assault on racing. Down under, Chris Waller. I was watching a bit of Mooney Valley yesterday, something called the Moor Stakes, which is a Group 1 down there on a Friday night under the lights. Great to see that back. No crowd down there at the minute, but they've got some special young horses, and these are colours. Sometimes when they're not in the traditional Tabor, Smith, or
Yeah, that's a good
Magnia
point.
colours, people get a bit funny about them, don't they? Broome never really had the biggest fan club. Japan.
Are they selling? Are they
Lots of
going to
them have
sell
gone.
one that's going to be their
Yes.
future best one? Is the problem, I suppose, from an outside point of view? And Fitchy Hayes, they had Fame and Glory, but they had a lot like Lizard Island.
There's
horses
the
that
market
weren't
if you want to
quite
sit.
at
I
the
think
top
we've got the
they
best
sold
team
on.
in the business here. Look, they're right up on the screen. So we will talk about this race. There you go, an unexpected nugget for you. And this is, we think we might be able to see a Derby horse here. So Kills liked it yesterday when I was chatting to him, Paul Kelly. I think this will probably win. He
With
was
a
very
dangerous
green
train
on
by
his
Joseph.
debut.
Swan Bay, that's
That landed a
3.1.
gamble at Galway last time, didn't it? But look, these colours, I think we're going to see more of them, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Seasons South,
yeah.
they've just made a Group 1 breakthrough, but they've got a lot of good horses
That was a
out there.
switch in between. It ran in the table colours on debut, Turner Prism. So
They've gone to
sold
the
that
Westerbergs. I
in
don't know
between.
much about the Westerbergs. I need to do a bit of...
You're like invited,
Delving.
aren't you? Like Aidan, you can't just go and be like,
Oh,
I
yeah,
want to
yeah,
buy.
no.
Like you're properly invited. So it's pretty special, wouldn't it? It'd be pretty
it
amazing.
Anyone ever been
Yoda?
to Ballydor?
Have the,
I've never been to Ballydor, no.
I've never been.
My brother
My
worked there.
husband's
for a
been. He
winter.
said
Did
it
he?
was unbelievable.
Pat?
Yeah, he'd actually sat on Fame and Glory once.
What?
But yeah, he had a cracking winter.
They're off and running anyway in the Beresford Stakes. We'll keep an eye on that. We've got the Renaissance Stakes as well at the car. It's a good day there today. Sometimes gets lost in translation, this car, but Art Power going over as well, isn't he, of course?
He's interesting, isn't he? Might get a good opportunity.
Trying to get that one next to his name before Champions Day, isn't he? So we'll keep an eye on that. And Luxembourg dropped right out the
Yeah,
back.
right
You can see
behind.
the market go there. So, if you're the Crisfords, Ed and
Gutted.
Simon, you're just thinking that was our Group 1.
Carabas all over again. I know not Group 1.
Yeah,
but
so we've seen 2 races so
Yeah.
far at Newmarket, haven't we, where something's gone. I don't know. They're going to, it's going to be high draw now, isn't it?
Well,
in the
yeah,
biggie?
you didn't want to be in the middle there, did you? I mean, all the horses on the standside rail were absolutely loving it.
That's
So
what it did for Sandrine, wasn't it, really?
It got a
Still
bit
beat
messy
Sacred
in that
Bridge.
race, by the way. I just watched it back. Eve Lodge and Jamie Spencer looked for a bit of room, and a couple got a bump. Sacred Bridge was disappointing, wasn't she?
I know we did.
This is the Jer thing.
We've not let him escape for that one.
yeah.
A favourite you put up and it
It's
ran
a
a
way,
shocker.
I'll tell you what, this poll is
Oh,
probably
yeah.
going back, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, the thing is that I don't like making excuses, unlike a lot of people in racing. So I'm not going to.
You hate excuses as
I
Swan Bay
absolutely
takes
hate
it up at the
excuses,
Curragh.
yeah.
And the big 2 in the market are going clear at the Curragh, then it looks like. I'll
This
tell
is
you
going to
what,
win by a mile. This
if it
Luxembourg.
comes through
1.3
this,
Luxembourg.
he's interesting. Can you remember the last non-O'Brien horse to win the Beresford Stakes?
Oh, that's a question.
It was trained by Mick Halford. He's
it?
going to come through and win this horse, isn't he? Look, he's gone
Yeah,
real
he looks
low
like
now.
he look.
Yaga Khan, Derby winner.
Look at the way he picks up
Mick
here.
Halford and Shape Mo.
Skipping along. Wow.
Casamento.
Don't like that.
Oh, that is a
don't
pro-
like that head carriage.
Oh,
No,
get
no,
away
but
with
do you-
yourself.
Yeah, it must be because he's got a high tail carriage as well. So
He's
the
a
whole of his
Camelot,
top.
bit of a Santa
Yeah.
Barbara,
Yeah.
head
So
carriage.
big 5 minutes, wasn't it? 15 minutes, I'll probably say, for the Westerbergs. These are these new colours that you're seeing at Team Ballydor.
It's quite
We think it's
rangy,
an
though.
operation to take very seriously. As I said, down under, if you watch your racing, Chris Waller, probably the best trainer down there at the moment.
They'd be pretty big out in Australia, these colours.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've made a huge investment. And Luxembourg.
Want to pull up?
James, can you have a look at the sportsbook? We'll see if we've got some anti-post Luxembourg prices. What do we make?
Might be a little bit
of
sharp on
Tenebrism as well. Is she just going to be? She's out of Immortal Verse. Let's go back to the Chivy Park winner. Remember her, Gerard Mosse?
Yes.
The French Coronation Stakes winner.
Yeah.
Right tall on her day, wasn't she? She wanted
good,
some
yeah.
cut underfoot as well, didn't she?
Yeah,
So-
I'll be a little
By
bit
Caravaggio.
worried about the fact that she's come right up the rail, the second's come right up the rail, the rest of all raced in the middle.
But
Is she flattered there?
once raced novice maiden winner taking out that race, you would give her, you mark it up, wouldn't you, on that? You've got to give her the benefit of the doubt, surely. I know it was a rail race.
Yeah, it was a rail race. The favourites ran appallingly.
I think you can only rate her through Flotus in the fact that you've got to ignore the other ones.
Did you got
Yeah.
onto that, didn't you? You could see when you sit next to Rodway, you see what he does.
I do
The
kinda-
favourite ran appallingly.
No, I do kind of get it though, because then she potentially was flattered, Tenebrism, by that, because then she was like, I had something to aim at and forced to go, and I think then when the others are just there in the middle, then I can see why then she looks a bit flattered by that.
It was exciting.
What about
10
Jer?
minutes there, wasn't it?
What about Jer?
I
We
know.
we a little bit worried about Jer
look,
now?
I wasn't going to start asking about the middle park, but
Well, we need
what
to
do we
see
do
what
with the draw in the
happens.
middle park? What do we do with the trainer trends? Andrew Balding's going to be feeling a little bit of pressure now and all that sort of
Yeah.
thing. Joe Lyons for the horses the rest of the day. I don't know. Sandrine, just going back to Sandrine.
A moral winner out of the two. I
No,
think
you
That's
definitely did.
half the point.
That is a win for you. That was.
If it's 1-1,
Hold on, no, you have to actually have a winner.
No.
You don't. It's not who beat two. You actually have to have a winner. We're changing the rules here.
Well, usually we go
Rules.
to Dublin and we let the
adjudicator. Well, I'm the
steward
adjudicator.
decide. Well, today,
Natalie will be the
Millman, perhaps
adjudicator.
Millman.
Oh, crikey.
Blimey. Controlled chaos here in the Racing Post studios. I promised we wouldn't panic here today like the rest of society seems to be doing, but it is pandemonium. Who was impressed with Luxembourg? Is that the Derby winner?
Right, your Derby.
Green as grass, I would say, but yes, the head is a little high, isn't it?
10s Luxembourg, 10s Native Trail, 10s Point Lonsdale, 14s Sir Reach the Moon, 16s is your Royal Patronage, and
10s Bar.
caught the eye, and bigger the rest. Yeah, so
Tens bargain on
open.
the sportsbook. Not that impressed, but you have to put in with a performance like that at the top of the market then. So interesting.
Yeah, I think naturally though he's just got that high head carriage. His
think it's a
whole, his whole
Camelot trait.
physique. Yeah, his
Well,
whole,
talking
whole
about head
physique.
carriages, let's go to Haydock because the next race is coming up here on
Oh,
RP
gosh.
Live, and it is the head carriage of head carriages
Gosh.
with Mondam Edge
Oh.
at the top of the market, 240, and that's obviously.
No, we're
gonna
not
give us a
talking
line
about
on that.
Mondam Edge. No.
no, he's one of those horses that people have jumped off and he won, and
Me and Keels had a bit of a conversation on Twitter because I literally backed him. I mean, he's been a busy horse all flipping season, and that Keels was on Twitter that day. I was like, I can't believe it.
it's giving him nightmares.
One
This horse.
time I didn't back him.
We napped him in the Portland, didn't we? Thinking we got one up on Kills, and it was an absolute disgrace. He was very happy about that on the feature show we did yesterday.
Was he,
Laughing
yeah?
about it, yeah. He was like, well,
Unreal.
James, he's holding his position ahead of the market. People think he's going to bounce back. Of course he likes.
But this is an open market. 5.5 Mondam Edge is our favourite. 6.4 Copper Knight Jabal, just now 6.2. The one I'm going to go for, Premier Power. He's probably more frustrating than Mondam Edge because he actually doesn't really show his true ability on any occasion. But he looked very good on Neil Webber. So 20 quid win for Premier Power. Hoping that the smaller field just sees him get back on track and see me try and get some money into the Betfair Barry account because only Flotus has just given me a little bit of a catch up. Of the others, Royal Crusade. I hope Adam Farrager gets a clear run on that one. 8.4. Be Proud at 8s and bigger prices.
Hashtag bring back Barry.
Hashtag bring back Barry.
Oh, fantastic. You don't know what you're going to get here in the studio. It's all improvised, and I have to say, I'm having a good time this afternoon. I hope you
It's
are as
real,
well.
isn't it? It's real.
Premier Power.
I'm on
Keels
Premier
likes
Power.
it, and so does
I'm
Nat
on
Green.
Premier Power. My pick, yeah, solid claims. I think dropping back to the minimum trip. Strong traveller. He's lightly raced. Obviously, he's really lightly raced, but he looks a sort open to improvement. And the reason I sort of thought is actually he looks open to improvement, lightly raced compared to the others, which have had pretty busy campaigns. Most of these have been really on the go, haven't they? And also, it's flipping expensive, like 300,000 Guineas yearling, this horse. Premier Power needs to show us today.
Yeah.
But just the one for me on paper looked like open to improvement. I mean, there's I can't even look at Mondemege anymore. I can't even look at
A lot
him.
of people like that.
I can't look at him.
Now, isn't he? Who's jumped off Mondemege? Who's with him? It's great to see the chats out there, actually. It's really nice to see you're giving your tips to each other and all that sort of stuff. We have got time in between the middle park, so 3 o'clock, we're whittling through it today, and the last race, the Cambridgeshire, 3:40, will give you plenty of shouts. Who wins the Arc? Come on, let's have it. Is it going to be Hurricane Lane? St Ledger to the Arc was the last horse to do it. Hasn't been done. Name the horses that have been beaten, having tried that double. There are some worldies out there. The Magnificent Seven, will give that some love as well. G was there.
Yeah, we want people to name the 7.
Name the 7.
Yeah.
Exactly that. So you're out there, if you want to Google it.
I was 10.
We won't judge. You were 10.
Don't Google it. That's,
Yeah, man,
that's
yeah. I was
boring, isn't
20.
it?
We were a little bit younger, weren't we?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Final members.
Probably like, riding my pony with some sandwiches in my little rucksack at that point. going on a hack on my pony for 8 hours. Mum and Dad, where was she gone?
You don't want to know what I was doing, I can tell you that much. It's remarkable, but funny enough, I can't remember. I can't remember a lot of those days. Okay, so who do I like here? I found this really difficult. I thought Royal Crusade might be the one, but this would be the one race of the day where I'm sort of happy to go to the bar, you know?
Where's the main man? What were you putting up?
Yeah, I'm going with Copper Knight here. So to try and bury the Millman. So Copper Knight for me.
7.2 Copper Knight. Joel's your money horse. That's actually clear favourite now. 5.7.
Yeah, he was a bit eye-catching. They rode him a bit more conservatively than normal last time, and he ran on. But I don't know. Again, was that another bit of a Cruyff turn? Red herring.
They're sort of nutcases, aren't they? Joao and
Royal Crusade's a nutcase,
Mondemege,
but-
and there's a lot of those in there. And Copper Knight's just solid.
You know, Mondemege, he has to go
Copper
in.
Knight has had a great season, hasn't he?
He has to go in with the rug. He has to have the blindfold on. But he obviously he's talented. But
Yeah.
he's just.
Jawal, the last to go in then, along with, there is one more
Show Me,
still
Show
to
Me,
go in.
Show Me.
Yeah,
Bit
show
of
me,
a
show
nutter.
me. With Tom Eves on. Is that
Be interesting to see where they race here, because it looks like the stalls are sort of in the middle, are they?
Yeah, there's not much space on the
I
top of the
reckon.
track.
Will they come stand side?
Copper Knight's going to be up there. He usually
We'll
is,
see.
isn't he? All right, good luck wherever you're playing in the 240. It's a burn up, and Jawal taken right to the back again. Mountain Pass is up there. Copper Knight, as expected, is up there. Lahoo, a horse that's well handicapped, but he's got a little bit to prove. He's burning the trail at the moment. Mokkatil, he's quite interesting, isn't he? He's a really good season as well for PJ McDonald. Just won our last race. Be proud. Royal Crusade, he's looking good. Adam Farah, if he just behaves himself a little bit. Premier Power, where's he?
He's
Covered up
travelling
beautifully.
nicely. Get a gap, please, David Egan.
Yeah, come on now.
Joel's
How's
not
this
had
going
it.
to get
Joel
beaten?
fell out the stalls.
the
didn't he?
Look at Mondemege.
Mondemege is.
Oh, this is a Mondemege day.
Go on,
Joel's been given
Copper.
too much to do. Copper Knight's going for it at the moment. Oh, no, Melbourne. He's not going to do it, is he? Looks like Copper Knight is so
1.5.
uncomplicated,
Go
isn't
on.
he? Catch me if you can.
Come
The Who is up there.
Copper.
This has been one for the leaders. Mondemege is coming. Can he get him? I think he
Go on,
might.
Copper.
This could be another gubbing.
Go
It
on,
looks like
Copper.
Copper Knight all the way to the line.
on.
Mondemege dives. And he's done
Go
him.
on.
It's Mondemege's
Not
day.
Mondemege, not Mondemege.
Oh, scenes of amazement here. Unbelievable
this is one
stuff
of the worst
here.
days of my
For the
life.
first time this afternoon on RP Live, unbelievable scenes. Who kept the faith with Mondemege? Carried the runner-up over. It didn't make much difference, really. You knew. You just had that Newmarket feeling. How low did he go, Copper Knight? James Millman.
1.22 for the bear, but a loser.
Mondemege has sent me over the edge.
Oh, yeah, now you're the
Mondemege sent me over the edge.
because you probably looked at him and thought, I can't. There's
I
only
just
so
can't.
much.
I've tipped him up on this
You can
show
persevere.
3 times.
Yeah.
He just, I can't.
Did Keels tip it today? No, he went for Premier Power as
No,
well. So
because you just give up with him, but
we
he's,
put him up last time in the Portland thinking that he's going to finally
Yeah.
start producing.
yeah.
Yeah, and he didn't. Yeah,
He just obviously loves Haydock, doesn't he?
yeah. He's a nutcase of all, isn't he?
He's
But he's
probably
got loads of
talented enough to
abilities.
run 4th or
God,
5th in a sprint cup,
He had the
isn't
perfect toe tracking
He's
Copper
been
Knight.
so busy as well.
Cam Hardy knew when to press
Yeah.
the button, and like I say, luckily for me, he's just claimed.
You're a lucky boy,
Copper
man.
Knight.
Lucky boy there. Lucky boy.
Oh, there you go. You've got to laugh, haven't you? So,
result.
if you're just joining the show and thinking what are they on about, there's a little bit of a head-to-head going on between Graham Rodway and James Millman representing Betfair this afternoon. At the moment, is it draw at the moment?
No,
It wasn't-
no,
And
it's
I'm
not
afraid
draw,
he
it's
is in
not a
front.
draw,
but
no.
I've
Who's
got
going to tip more
half a
winners
point.
is what we asked at the top of the show.
And Millman brought
Not
this
me.
on. Millman started this, can I say?
Okay, can I go back to our very first race, the 150? That was the 240 at Haydock. Royal Crusade was third. He looks like a bit of a nutter, doesn't he? But he's run on late. Can I go back to the Royal Patronage, the first race, who gubbed Caribus, who went very low,
That
didn't
was
he?
at
for a lot of money?
1.01, £32,000.
Oh, 101 burn an exchange land on our first race then. And Mark Johnson, the trainer of Royal Patronage, says, I have to say the Godolphins team was standing beside me. And with a furlong to go, they thought they had won. I thought they had won. I'm very happy with the run, and it will be a Derby trial later on. He's got a lot of speed. The pedigree is a horse who's going to stay further. So they are looking at him as a Derby horse, basically. That'll
Dante,
probably be him
you'd
for the rest of
imagine
the year.
he'll be.
Yeah, the
he'll be
Dante,
there.
York winner. Good shout, James Millman. So we've seen lots of Derby clues, we think, so far this afternoon, as we should do with the 2-year-old crop. What do you make of the 2-year-old crop this year? Graham Rodway says, bit of a muchness. Do you still think that after Tenebrism, you're not having it at all, are you?
No, I don't think they're very good, a lot of them. Obviously, Native Trail's quite good. And I still
Quite
think
good.
I still think Reach for the Moon and the other one, Point Lonsdale, are quite good. But I don't like this bunch coming up. Perfect
Colts better
Power
than the
and,
fillies at the moment.
well, the good Colts are, but I don't.
Jesse Harrington's got some
think they're
decent
great.
fillies. What a run she's had, James Millman, recently.
Flying 23-24% strike rate. Winners jumping flat race and whatever she
Yeah.
lays her hand at.
So we bid
Such a
farewell
good
to Haydock.
team.
By the way, the ground is quick there if you're playing for the rest of the afternoon. They're going under standard. If you're playing there for the rest of the afternoon, good luck, enjoy it. We're about to see Caramelised come up at Market Raisin. The guys very quick to put that on, aren't they? I'll have to say on our screens going now.
So much
If you
support,
read the
trying to
Saturday
help
jury
me.
today, 3 of you, them including our very own Nat Green, went for that in the Saturday jury. Caramelised. It's
Trying
got
to
some
help me.
slightly bigger price than you might have expected. So there's the Betfair SP of Mondamedge then. Mondamedge.
14 runs in 2021, this horse, and I promise you I must have backed him about 12 times.
Last word to Paul Keeley. I think I need Mondamedge to retire. Can't handle it anymore.
Yeah, so
Has he tweeted that, has he?
That's the words.
I
from
think
the
I
great man.
genuinely agree. It's actually quite hard. It's actually quite heartbreaking when you put a horse all season and then you just give up and then they just do that to you.
We shall bring a black couch into the offices. Oh, yeah, and again, we are adaptable on this show. You ask for it, we'll give it to you. Here's the market at Market Raisin as well. Who knew we'd be going to Market Raspberry on a day like this? Group 1 day in between. We are, of course, the 3 o'clock will be the next terrestrial race that we give you. That is I'm looking at the drawing stall one for Perfect Power, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, that is going to be tough, isn't it? Now all of a sudden, the lay of the day for James Millman. Okay, Dr. Zemph, of course, in stall 10 there, so let us know. But we're going to take in a race at Market Raisin. We'll leisurely talk about it because a juvenile hurdle on Cambridgeshire Day, who ever thought we'd be doing that? But such is the power and the popularism of Natalie Green that we are doing this. The pressure's now on, isn't it?
Is this the one Tiger Roll one or not? He won a race.
Don't ask me that.
He won a race at Market Raisin,
spot
did he
on.
not?
He did win at
He
Market
did.
Raisin.
Hawk. I don't know if it was this
Yeah, for
one.
Nigel Hawke at Market Raisin.
Yeah, no, he did.
1.9 is caramelised.
If you want to get
If this
involved,
gets beat, and can I go home? You're going to actually cry.
I fear for you because this is really weak in the market, and that's not a good sign.
we're hearing that Tenebrism, the winner of the Sheevey Park, might have a look at Del Mar for the
Okay.
Breeders' Cup, which will be interesting.
Oh.
For the
It
juvenile
has only
fillies
had
there.
the two runs.
Oh,
And
good.
she is 8s from 25.
This is
on
my
the Sports
favourite.
Book,
We
I
have a
think, for the
false start
1,000
as well.
guineas.
Oh dear.
This is my favourite because it's.
Well,
No,
get
so it's not a
G1
false
started.
start.
Oh, that's what it was. I
It's
thought
just
it was
very keen, unfortunately. It's
Oh, dear.
2.56.
What's
now.
this, the race
Greg,
that
I thought
Tiger
Greg
won?
was trying to stop them all. He was running across the thing. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, a bit keen at the minute. It's caramelised.
We will keep an eye on that. The market's there for you.
This isn't funny.
Yeah, okay. So we're going to now preview the middle part, which is, of course, what we should, of course, be doing here this afternoon. Get it back onto it. What's going to win, guys? You've got plenty of time to let us know. Get your tips in. Has anyone gone strong on this? Is anyone surprised that Perfect Power, like me, is as big as he is in the betting? Is it that stall one? Tricky stuff. Well, I don't think we're going to get a word from Nat while this Market Raisin run is on because the pressure's on. I mean, you're 0 from what, 12 now? Potentially? She took loads of winners when she first came in.
This couldn't be going any worse.
Is he not jumping?
Not jumping. It's doing this.
Caramelised is a bit sticky.
Going mental. Oh.
Did a Bruce Millington there. No one got it.
Oh dear.
No,
Collins.
it was that bad a pun that we just ignored it there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, well, I've been on your side so
Okay,
far. in
I'll
this,
take it back,
Come on,
take it
come on,
back.
come on. Millman,
Right,
Millman.
sorry, sticking with you. Come on.
Right, Middle Park, there it is. I thought he was going to be. I actually said to Paul Keeley yesterday when we were in the studio doing a bit of jousting together, come on, Kills. Yeah, this is the best horse in the race, he said. I said, I'm worried about stall one and I'm worried about Christophe Soumillon. at Newmarket.
Okay, that's an interesting angle.
Yes, because
I wasn't concerned on that score myself.
Think about it. Soumillon doesn't really
He doesn't
care,
ride
does
it.
he? He's Soumillon. He's just he's the prince, isn't he, in France? He does his own thing. Get me on the best horse. You know, watch that ride back on Zarkava in the Arc, and ever since, you know, that was incredible scene, incredible scenes. Is that how you say it? Bit of Franglais again coming up. You should have seen me when I went over to the Arc. So yeah, I'm worried about Christophe Soumillon as well, but I thought we would be talking about a horse, certain that we'd be talking about a horse under 2-1. He is, James, around 11-4.
Yeah, 3.7 on the exchanges. 6 for Dr. Zemp, 6.4 Go Bears Go, and 10.5 Asymmetric is your next one in. Perfect Power was my lay. We said that coming into the office, but I was hoping for more 2.8.
And this is what Barry
2.9.
does week in, week out for Betfair.
So now
He
I
gets
am
worried.
in the mind of Betfair Barry. Is that too big? The draw, I think we've seen it as the card's gone on. One doesn't really where you want to be, because I imagine after that race, jockeys will be heading straight to the stand side. So that is a negative. I'm just going to stick Go Bears Go, because I think 6.4 is a nice price. So I'm going to go £30 win, Go Bears Go, and keep an eye on Perfect Power, but keeps on drifting like an absolute barge. Now 3.85 on the screens. Is that too big for the natural Group 1 horse in the field?
Yeah, I think it is. Even though Stall One, again, if you're Richard Fahey, the trainer, what are you? Do you give Christophe Soumillon advice? I don't really know. I mean, you've got to tell him that he's not drawn in the right place unless they go far side. He's in exactly the wrong place to be, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, maybe he should go far side and just race on his own like Kevin Stott did.
On Bielsa,
Because-
this is
Yeah,
Sumi.
that's true.
The was it the going sticks the same both sides, but you don't want to be in the middle.
Yes.
So maybe you don't. You know, the only way you can win is to go right on the far side or try and get across. But we'll see. I can't
Is he
believe.
a horse that wants a bit of cover, though?
He definitely does. He definitely wants a bit of cover. That's the other thing that worried me slightly at under 2-1. That he
Looking
might
good,
get in a bit of
looking
bumper
good.
cars like he did in, of course, what did he run in? The
Goodwood.
was it Malcolm, wasn't it? In Richmond.
Richmond.
Richmond, of course, was desperately unlucky in that,
I
wasn't
think
he?
Nat's on a winner,
No,
possibly.
I don't think so.
No?
Oh, I just.
Dosh is coming to
Things
claim.
coming well, whatever that is.
3.9 now, Perfect Power. Nobody wants to be back in the Group 1 winner in the Middle Park.
Karen Lyle's going to get beat.
It looks that way. Yeah.
He has done so much. I'm not surprised he's
third place.
exhausted.
Where is he in fourth?
Third.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right.
But he's absolutely.
Guys,
I mean,
can
he's.
we cut market prices? Okay, all right. So, and as if to rub it in a little bit more for Natalie Greaves, what we love to do here on the show, there's Mondamedge, a result up for you there, 240, beating Coppernight, Royal Crusade, The Nutter, and Lahoo. Let's get a social up on the screen, bring it back for the Middle Park. Who's out there? Let's have a little look. Matt Gardner comes back on, he opened the show, and he says, I have doubts about every horse in the 3 o'clock. Some at the wrong trip, some at the wrong ground. Graham Rodway,
Which ones?
take it away. Well, I don't know. I was hoping that you've done your own work.
I'm not sure that's true. I just don't think a lot of them are very good. But we'll find out, won't we? The one thing I am absolutely certain of is that Perfect Power won't win. I think that not only is he now drawn in the wrong place every night, but I don't like that form in the morning. I thought it was an absolute rubbish race, rubbish time. The second was beaten the other day in the Tattersall Stakes. Andre Farb's horse came over, went off a short price.
Hang on a minute.
Got absolutely hammered by Modern Games.
Hang on. Modern Games might still be a good horse. We might see that at the Breeders' Cup.
Well, it'd have to be
They took their last 2 Derby winners there, don't forget.
And
Not Adiar, of course, the 2 before him.
and the Gubbas finished 5th. What happened to that last week when we were watching
Yeah,
Newbury?
I know. I don't know.
That was awful, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Don't you
It
get
was
the
really
feeling, though, with
disappointing
Perfect
at
Power,
Newbury.
that once he just gets that cover and goes through, he's
They
just
think he's so
different to
good, the Fahey team. They do think he is like a Wootton Bassett.
Royal Ascot winner, of course. Yeah.
Back to Soumillon, 4 from 32 at Newmarket over the years.
You know how many winners Jamie Spencer's ridden at Newmarket in the last 5 years?
The last 5 years,
You obviously do know.
Do you know-
I'll tell you, there's nothing worse, is there, than when someone asks a question knowing the answer.
like a
And
pub
G-Rod
quiz.
does this quite a lot.
It's like a pub quiz, and you're just like, oh, I don't know.
come on then, G-Rod, what is the answer?
It's 5.
It's only 5.
5.
Okay, I thought you were
Seriously?
going to give me like 20.
Dare I ask from how many?
5 winners in the last 5 years, so he has 1 winner a year at Newmarket.
But yeah, at Ascot on the straight course, he's mustard, isn't he? So
I just think that because the way that Newmarket goes, you have to get them running going into that dip. Probably doesn't suit his
style.
hold up
Yeah.
way of riding, and then he's probably trying to get at them coming up the hill.
And then
some of those
it's
already
all
gone.
the momentum then is changed.
And he rides Castle Star, of course, and the argument with Castle Star is that he needs this sort of ride. He needs to be held up.
You can
held up,
totally
held up,
see why
held
the
up.
stacks have gone for Spencer, don't they? He used to have an association when he rode in Ireland, of course, but you can see it. And I agree, Castle Star. If he'd have come over for the commentary, I would have nearly napped him. He didn't make it. They waited for the car, didn't they? And he's not quite gone his way.
They have ridden him Super Jamie Spencer. Like, I'm not quite sure why it's so extreme, because he's looked quite honest in the finish. But yeah, the tactics wouldn't really be ideal, you'd say, here at Newmarket from Stall 2. But yeah, it's very interesting. I appreciate that, James
Thank
Spencer
you.
stat. That was quite a...
Oh,
You've
there's
been lied to.
there you go, an
Stat.
agreement there.
That
We
wasn't
are.
a stat.
There's hope
See, I've
for
looked.
everyone.
I've looked at the middle park in I've just split it into two groups. I've gone either you look at the pre-morning form with Perfect Power, Asymmetric Armour, whatever, or the Irish form with the Curragh with Go Bears Go and Dr. Zempt. So I've just split it into two, watched all the replays and picked what I thought was, and I've gone between Go Bears Go. I mean, my pick is actually Dr. Zempt, but Go Bears Go. What a horse for David Loughnane and training in Shropshire. I mean, it's been awesome, phenomenal for Dave to really get properly on the map. But I've actually gone for Dr. Zempt in this. But like we were talking about before, if this gets beat, I am then seriously in your camp and going to flipping query Joe Lyons over here because
all 10, you got the place to be on the stands, right?
Yeah, I think this one might be the one that does it for him. I'm on.
I hope
Dr.
so. I'm on Dr. Zempt here. I just think this, looks.
I think they might be much of a muchness, you see. The Irish horse, Go Bears Go, has come up against Dr. Zempt before, and Dr. Zempt.
But he's not quite.
He's got the draw though, Dr. Zempt, hasn't
But
he?
he's been crying out for this quicker ground, in my opinion, and he gets it today.
Castle Star in that lot as well.
Gets this
Armour's
quicker
got a
ground.
bit to prove, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he's a really good horse, but is he 5 furlongs?
Well, the 6 furlong stat in this, if you look at the excellent Kevin Morley's trainer trends column in the Post, got that out, 10-year trends, he will say that 6 furlongs is a big tick in this race.
Yeah.
I like to spend each Tuesday when Kevin sends me over his stats nice and early, just out of interest, just going through and going, that's interesting, he's going to have to overcome that or whatever. And that was enough to get Armour off the list. But
And why is he going to reverse the form of Perfect Power?
That's it. So Asymmetric is the horse that I expect to have a big say at one point. If I was backing one to lay, I think he'll go lower, definitely lower than the current
If he
10.5
front runs
he's
from
at.
9 and gets to that stands row, he's currently 10.5. You'd be surprised if he didn't go at least half.
He won the
those
Richmond,
odds.
of course, you remember, at Goodwood, where Perfect
He's always
Power's
been
not
high since
sideways.
his debut. You don't see an Alan King 2-year-old back
Best
off the boards
2-year-old
on
I've ever
debut.
had, said Alan King, and there is money for him, right, James?
Yes, he's just solid, 10.5. He's 4th favourite now. Armour's out to 11.5. But yeah, back to that debut. Mojo Maker was second on occasion. 3-1 he went off. 2-1 on in his next start, and then he was second to LaSalle at Newmarket. So for Alan King, we know he can train anything, but speedy, precocious 2-year-olds, first time, not so much. And this horse straight away knew his job, and clearly he's been a decent type. Third in the pre-morning. Again, you've got to reverse the form with Perfect Power.
Are you agreeing with what you're saying? I mean, you're looking a bit sort of zoned out there. I wasn't sure if you were with us still on Planet Rodway or
no,
in
I
the
was
RP
thinking
Live
about
studio.
something else. Yeah,
Cambridgeshire. We agree on the Cambridgeshire. We're not going to give it away.
we do. Oh, great.
Well, Nugget was the agreement earlier, wasn't it?
I was
So-
thinking that Katura could have run well. That's what I was thinking.
For the
It's
Coxes?
just come back to me.
Yeah,
We'll come back to that in a sec.
Flying
Matt Gardner
Childers
comes back
winner.
on. Comes back on and says, what I meant, some horses clearly want it. So, Matt's come back. Bit of jousting here
Some
for the
horses
Rodway.
clearly want it
Matt-
softer.
Yeah, go on. You can. All right, fine. You read
Some
it.
clearly want 5 furlongs. Makes it hard to come down on one. You're clutching on every one.
You nearly mugged up on that as well, but well done.
can
So
just
Matt
about
is
see that.
basically saying there was reason to what I'm saying, and like what a lot of you say in the paper and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, Armour probably wants 5 furlongs. I'm not a great ground man, so
Yeah.
you're not going to get me to say that there's such and such wants soft, unless it's absolutely bog heavy or absolutely rattling quick. I don't tend to take much notice of ground at all.
Pretty quick.
Are we surprised that Aidan O'Brien, who's just taken out the middle part, Aidan is at Newmarket today, we're led to believe.
Is that why Ryan was there then, and not there riding
Luxembourg,
instead?
obviously.
Maybe
obviously.
they thought they had some good.
He's on
chances.
HMS Endeavour here, who looked better the further he went, over 5 at Dundalk just 8 days ago. He's just on a Warfront. I think, is he a Warfront?
And Aidan's won this
Yeah, he's out of
6
Lady Eli.
times.
Oh, Lady Eli, this could be the Breeders' Cup horse, couldn't it?
Proper American.
Proper
biscuit.
American.
This has got Breeders' Cup all over it, and we've also got a Westerberg horse in New York City who might be
Proper
looking for a
American.
place on the plane
And
as
Maiden
well.
never won the Middle Park.
Oh, well,
Say doubtful.
it's a tricky one, that. Certainly not in the last 10 years. and Maiden has not won the middle part. The middle part now, of course, is a proper sprinting race, isn't it? We used to have this obsession with turning the likes of Dream Ahead, who of course got beaten by Frankel that year, into a Guineas horse. But since the Commonwealth Cup's come along, they can nicely just show what they're meant to be, and that is sprinters. And this is why it's become such a good race since. The middle part, who won it last year? Of course, it was Supremacy. What on earth happened to him? Earthlight the year before that, 10 Sovereigns for Aidan.
That not train on angle.
Last time out winners apart from 2. One was an Aidan O'Brien horse, Crusade. Not a name that sort of immediately springs to mind. And The Last Lion, do you remember him from Mark Johnson? Never saw a 3-year-old career. But some top sprinters win this. This will be the cream of the crop sprinting-wise for next year's Commonwealth Cup. Will you be ready for a Commonwealth Cup anti-post price, Mr. Melvin?
I will make sure it's available once it comes through. But
Dankeschön.
4.2 now, Perfect Power. Big drifter. Nobody wants to be with Perfect
Just
Power.
talk amongst yourselves. Like I'm going to press up a little bit on that one. Not something I
Dr.
often
Zemp,
say.
6.2. Go Bears, that's the money horse, 5.3. Only a point off Perfect Power. I'm quite happy with my 6.4 earlier on for Go Bears Go to give Dave.Nane a big weekend. A winner yesterday.
Do you think he's just
Yeah.
uncomplicated and the track will likely suit him? And
I felt he was better than Perfect Power at Ascot. I thought he was an unlucky loser. We then saw what he could do over in Ireland. Probably needed a run when Dave wasn't having any winners.
Yeah.
Winners on the board now, and the money's coming for him.
tell me about Coutura,
Yeah, Clive
Clive
Cox,
Cox.
isn't it?
who won the Mill Reef, much to
Non-stayer.
your delight. You can
Yeah.
actually tip winners, can't you? 'Cause you did on ITV last week. You put up that as a beauty, wasn't it?
Did he win this with Supremacy?
He did last year, yeah.
Yeah, Clive Cox.
Yeah, I had a good
And
weekend last
progressing
weekend.
well this year.
This show will do it to you.
But Couture is actually the one because the Flying Children's one of my favourites. That Donny, obviously, I was there. So no, it was actually quite impressive. He's been running well, hasn't he? Group races. It's not without a squeak in
He's
this.
got a lot of runs next to his name, hasn't he? He wouldn't be a sexy winner, would he?
No.
He's right there on times. Right there on times.
Okay, all right. I'll see if I can back that one up. Let's have a
And
little look.
So what
Yes,
is your
he
choice?
is. He is
Gerard?
right there on time.
I'm on Dr. Zemp.
You on Dr. Zemp?
Last couple going in, guys. It's
Yeah.
middle part time. It's 3 o'clock. Football
Dr.
kicking off all
Zenz.
over the place, but everyone has got their eyes at the moment on Newmarket. Who will come out cream of the crop? Where will they go? Cambridgeshire, 40 minutes time. If you're drawn in the middle, you're going to want to go one side. We think they'll go into 2 groups. And the first race we had, far side. So far, they've all come over stand side.
Nervous.
Often the place you want to be, and away we go. 3 o'clock.
Get
Good
on
luck
that rail,
in the
Colin.
middle
Get on
park.
that rail.
Everything away, pretty much okay. Castle
Bears,
Star a
go
little
forward.
bit tardy, but Jeremy Spencer when you
Yes.
expect it. Here comes Dr. Zemp then. Colin Keane, he's done his homework, but Keane
He
is
has.
the doctor. Twilight Jet is up there as well at the moment.
Oh,
He won a
no.
big race for Fading, didn't he? Over 7 in the Champagne. Go Bears,
Is that
go.
Go Bears go in front?
Second, yeah.
Second at the
Second.
moment,
Oh.
those Hammond. Where's Perfect Power, guys?
Right
just-
at the
yeah.
back, just struggling to lay up a little bit. At the
Yeah,
minute,
they are
Perfect Power.
absolutely rocketing that, aren't they?
Yeah.
Winging along,
they
aren't
are going like the clappers here.
Twilight Jet
Halfway
out in front.
stage.
Go Bears go, unfortunately,
He's
is already
gone.
off.
Come
the
on,
bridle.
Colin, find
Look,
that run.
this is going to be another Westerberg horse. The Nick's on the outside. New York City is absolutely lighting up. Armour needs somewhere to go. Perfect Power. Sumion now revving up. Is he too far back? Castle Star. Jamie Spencer got nowhere to go. What a surprise. Here comes
Twilight
Asymmetric.
Jet. Oh, come on,
Castle
Dr.
Star
Zen.
really catching the eye. Armour really catching the eye. But at the moment, it's Twilight Jet. He nearly caused a right surprise in the Supreme. Is he going to see them off? Armour now
Perfect
filling his
Power.
lungs.
Oh,
Looks
here
like
comes
Armour's gonna do it.
Spencer.
Perfect
Here
Power
comes
on the
Spencer.
outside. Super Sumion. The
Oh.
Drifter has won right down the middle of the
Fancy
track.
that.
Perfect Power. The cream has risen to the top. What a price that was. Castle Stars won a blinder, as has Armour. We have got some decent sprinters for next year. The best of them, James Millman, is the Power.
Perfect Power, 95 in the run. Betfair SP 4.07. He drifted like a barge. Luckily, I didn't lay him on Betfair Barry's account. Fantastic stuff. They went hard early though, and the race just fell apart in that closing
They
stages.
must have gone like the clappers,
Yeah.
wasn't they?
Yeah.
New York City's come last, and I think if you go back in that call, I ran about 2 furlongs out. I'm like, looks like he might win here. 11-4, the on course SP. What have we got on Betfair, James Millman?
Betfair 4.07. was the
Lovely.
Betfair SP, so just over 3-1. But the one who went really short, who grabbed the stands rail, Twilight Jet. Bearing in mind the Betfair SP was 42, went 1.71. I think it's finished about 5th in the end.
This is the horse that ran Reach for the Stars
Champagne's
and
Bayside Boy. He's a good horse. He
Bayside
keeps
Boy.
being overlooked, the Varian horse. I think he's the UK's best 2-year-old. in my
Whoa, there's a shout. You did tip him on
opinion.
this show. You've got a little bit of allegiance to
got
him.
something right, but look at the pace. Castle
God,
Star
Perfect Power's done
travelling
well
like a
though,
dream,
really.
nearly going to give Jamie Spencer another winner at Newmarket, but it is Sumion.
Dr.
It's
Zeb
gone
was
too
disappointing.
fast, haven't they?
Yeah, gone
Yeah.
too fast.
100%.
Do you think that if Colin Keane had his time again, he'd go, I've to look too much into that bias? Because he's lit him up and he's made sure he's got the rail, hasn't he?
Yeah, but he's
Yeah.
beat on merit because he's not even beat Twilight Jet.
He's coming back actually towards the finish. That's a decent 2-year-old, isn't it? Perfect Power. I told you I was going to have more winners than you all this afternoon.
Yeah, that's 3, is it, Dave?
That is 3, absolutely, and a place.
Mark the day and date.
What's the one that's gone absolutely pudding-like then? What was that one? Anyway, I can't
Absolutely
remember.
pudding-like.
Mark the date, did you just say? Mark the date. And do you know what? We agree in the final race of the day.
Fantastic.
We do.
Still haven't buried Millman yet, though, have we?
No,
We
you're
haven't
not
buried
but
Millman yet.
I'm relying on the
Hashtag bring
not-
back Barry. Hashtag bring back Barry. How many winners we had so far?
Hashtag bring back Barry, which I absolutely
I'm
love.
disgusted.
He's probably in the Bahamas right now going, I knew they missed me.
I'm not joining in the Cambridgeshire.
You've
Yeah,
got
have
to
you had
join-
enough?
Not joining in. I'm never ever going to be on the jury again. It's my one and only time I've made it into the paper.
Yes, fair
We'll
enough.
definitely get the picture changed next time.
Listen,
we promise.
on last Saturday's show, G was staring down the naught from, as was I actually. And he went from Revich. I think I got one in the penultimate and you got one. Revich 25-1. And this is not going to be the sort of price you're expecting in the Cambridgeshire. We should just tease that now. But there is the Betfair SB then. Always bigger on the exchanges, isn't it? No matter what. And 407, just over 3-1. Who knew? Yesterday, 7-4 looked like it was under pressure. Of course, everyone thought you had to be high in this race, including myself, I must admit. But when I saw that price, this is the Keel's golden rule, isn't it? If it drifts,
Back it.
go in
Yeah,
again.
that's what he says.
Absolutely. So
Drifts
yeah.
back it.
But the problem is they've overcompensated for. There is an advantage to be racing on that stand side, but we've seen Twilight Jet has gone into the race far longer than you would expect him to, and gone quick. But the problem is if they all try and grab it, they're not going to get home themselves.
That's what's
and
back
it has
Castle
opened it
Star
up.
here, guys, as well, because he doesn't quite get the run that Perfect Power necessarily does. In fact, no, he's
unlucky again. But if you're
is
going
he
to
going to be a perennial eye catcher?
Ascot is going to be his track, isn't it? Really, you can see Jamie Spencer riding him in the Commonwealth Cup.
He's done well to hold his form as
Yeah.
well, hasn't he, throughout the
Don't
season?
think they're that good, Dave.
Armour hasn't quite got the 6 there, has he? You don't think they're quite that good?
No.
Would you have liked to see Perfect Power gone a bit further
Well,
clear and gone, all right, next coming?
I think they've gone nuts up front, and he's definitely benefited from pace collapse. And they're like that. Like you can put your hand over him almost on the TV. There's like
Yeah.
8 horses all in a row. That doesn't suggest to me that that's top class Group 1 form. For all the winners done it well.
It will slow the middle part by 1.02 seconds.
But that might be because they've gone too hard and run it inefficiently.
Yeah.
You know, if they've gone too hard, then
Yeah,
you're
they
not going
can't
to run a
stay.
quick
They're not going to
time.
stay. They can't.
But
keep
I
that
don't
for
know,
the
what do
whole
you want to
race,
see
though.
from a sprint race? You want to see front runners properly front run, don't you? Don't want to see one of these all-weather after you, and then, well, let's go for it a furlong out.
Yeah, 0.32 slower than the Tudor Park. Which you wouldn't have
interesting.
thought pre-race, would you? You would have thought the
That's
fillies would have
interesting, isn't
run faster. But as I think he's mentioned efficiency, it wasn't an efficiently run race.
No.
All right, okay. So this is
Too
the
quick,
this
too
is the analysis
soon.
you get. Too quick,
Too
too
quick,
soon.
too soon.
Yeah, if you've got speed, put it on the lead and all that. Hasn't not worked
Two
out there.
lengths slower, apparently 0.32.
Perfect Power. Does he win the Commonwealth Cup? Let us know. You've got plenty of time to get social interaction here in the show. This is a live betting interaction show for you as well. Let's hope you're having a good day. If you are, let's hear it. Now is the time. What was the Magnificent Seven? Who were the horses? We'll go to that. Who wins the Arc? This time next week, we're getting very, very excited about that. We've got a Sun Chariot next week as well, haven't we?
Lady Beaufort.
It's been a big news week, this, isn't it? Big news week. Lots has happened. We've had departing stars. Very sad about Santa Barbara, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm really
She
sad.
genuinely, it's
Well,
easy. A lot of people will say to us, it's easy to say that now, but she looked like she might have the world at her feet.
Yeah,
Finally.
no, it's really sad. I've had loads of. It's been a bit of a miserable news week, really. Monkfish.
Monkfish.
Min, a kind of min.
Top of the
sort
game.
Expected a bit, but monkfish, that's gutting.
But Santa Barbara's got to
That's
be
gutting.
right at the top because obviously she's no longer with us, sadly. And
Yeah.
tough week for Ballydoyle.
Tough week.
Mother Earth now looked like she might be going down under for the Everest, and that is seriously rich.
And also, it's a bit gutting because
now going to
James, what you
Delmar.
think about the with Santa Barbara with a fractured pelvis? I mean, in jumpers, this actually can be a relatively common injury, and you just be gutted to actually lose them through it because They
Yeah,
can
normally it's
they-
a savable injury.
It's savable. They can maybe race again. They might not be the horse that they were, but especially because she's
Well, for a
female.
broodmare potential.
She went off 6-4 in the
She
Guineas,
would have
didn't
been
she,
okay,
after
so-
a
her
one-made
work
run?
must have been exceptional. And although
Yeah.
Tom Collins probably be the best one to ask, in America she looked good again, and it would have been nice to see her coming back over here and
The
just see if
fast
we can
ground,
see
the,
what
the
she can
sharp
do.
mile too, it was perfect for her, wasn't it? And what's sad about it is that we know with their fillies now they don't mind racing them.
Oh,
do
we
they?
would have kept her on another
We
year.
would have kept
Yeah.
her on.
And you would just be gutted, like I say, it is a savable injury. It can be. They've been very unlucky, and you'd be absolutely distraught, wouldn't you?
Yeah, a
But
lot of stress then
Well,
over there
well,
at
she-
Ballydor would feel for you guys. Of course, no more Min. Bye-bye Min. Well, everyone's got a favourite Min highlight, haven't we? Do you know, mine is when he won, but it's not necessarily the Ryanair. From a punting perspective, definitely it was. When he wasn't second favourite. I can't remember the favourite that year to beat him, but he was around about 4-1 with the week to go. We all got on in here, I think, and he's tough as they come. Heart on sleeve type horse is another cliche for you.
Yeah, but a lot of people said he wasn't, didn't they, for a long time?
Well, because of Altior.
A lot of people said he was soft. The Altior
We
just
must
beat him
mention
up all
Altior,
the
of
time.
course.
But
Yeah.
actually, it's just he was bumping into a great
nice, he's gone
horse.
to Fitzy though, Altior.
Yeah, that is nice. I mean,
Really
a lot of people will be
nice.
going, oh, he's come second to Altior again, you know, in his retirement and stuff. A few people said this week quite cleverly. Poor old Min. But my favourite Min moment, go watch this back in your members section and your replays, is when he jumped the last in that John Durkin, where they did the split screens with the Peterborough. Do you remember when Top Notch was running in the... It was very controversial, RTV and at the time. And anyway, watch that back. One of the best jumps of a final fence under pressure, but perhaps the best jump I've ever seen. He was electric. And away he goes. And then Monkfish, of course.
Yeah, that's why. Also that's why it's gutting about Monkfish being out for now, because again, talk about electric jumpers.
The
Monkfish
last
is
two RSA
staggering.
winners.
It's
on
the
the
stress
sidelines.
of that the 3-2. It does take a lot out of them. And
Yeah.
you can see why people don't go until they're in their professional second season before trying that kind of distance, top of the game. He's such a big horse, it's no surprise.
He's a big horse.
He's had
Just run out of time with
years.
him, haven't they?
They're going to give him another
Do you
year.
think we'll see him again?
No.
I doubt
No.
it.
Going to be Monsignor.
I don't think so.
The work you've got to put in to get these top horses fit, whether he can take it, that's the big question.
Was there any good news this week, or was it just all bad?
Not really. It was quite a depressing week, wasn't it?
Frankie, really, wasn't it, last week?
Yeah, the Appleby
Frankie
domination.
Appleby.
Haley Turner's with 900 winners.
Yeah. Yes, come on, let's bring it back.
Yeah,
Come
let's
on,
bring it back.
positivity.
Haley's 900 winners. There's got to be more good news.
Lifting spirits news out there.
The funny thing about what
Hurricane and Addy are going for the Arc together next week.
Yeah, but then interesting. Buick's been quick to
Great news.
pick Adayar, which is
That's
because
an interesting
Hurricane
one,
Lane is
isn't
like
it?
one of my favourite horses. Like literally, it's so easy to say when they prove it, which is because it's so easy, isn't it, to say in hindsight, oh, he's one of my favourite horses, yeah, because he's a superstar. But from his debut, he is a tank. That beautiful full-on chestnut, big wide chest.
Proper turn of
Oh,
foot for a middle distance
How you
horse.
cannot? There's nothing wrong. There's nothing bad about that horse.
Gee, can he win the Arc on Sunday?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Hurricane Lane.
Yeah.
Could this be poetic justice for James Doyle, who came so close to beating Enable that year? I was there that year. Of
Sea of
course.
Class.
I was Sea of the shame, and another one that's gone by the wayside, Sea of Class, absolutely crusher. But James Doyle on, no problems whatsoever with that, have we?
No, not
No.
at all. Just your market, Tano is 5-2, RDR 11-4, 5 Snowfall, the forgotten Snowfall.
Get back to that after a social, James. Very interesting. I'm interested in that as well, I must say. Let's have a look at some social stuff. OK, Paul Ridgway comes back on and says, I think Tanawa wins the Arc but by beaten by the best horse in Europe. Probably in the world last time in the Champion Stakes, which, of course, we enjoyed so much, didn't we? Agree with that?
I like Tanawa, but there's no way St Mark's Basilica's the best horse
In the
hang on a
world,
minute.
no.
I shouldn't have given that one to him. All of you
Well,
know
well,
that. It's
yeah.
you and Enzo, the Shrift boys.
Miss Shriff is the best horse in the world, without question.
1-0, wasn't it, to St Mark's Basilica?
They say it's 10 and 11 pounds and things like that. And weight for age, I reckon, is the deciding factor.
I don't think we'll see him again at St Mark's Basilica.
Come on.
The rumours are that...
What about Adiyar? Is he going to
Right.
make the race?
Yeah,
Or is this a bit cloak and
he's
daggery?
Mr. Neo, isn't he? Like I say, I'm surprised that Buick's put his...
Yeah, I
hand
was
up
just
to say,
surprised.
I'm riding Adiyar.
Can't get off a Derby winner though, can you?
No, I think if they both turn up, he's going to have to ride him.
The St Ledger double's never been done. Horses have tried it. Nijinsky, of course, was the very
variant
famous
horse,
one.
Kingston Hill.
Kingston Hill.
And he's a classy horse in Kingston Hill, Hurricane Lane. He ran, was he fourth, third or fourth?
Yeah, yeah.
He's
Well,
going to
Cyan.
need...
He's a surprise.
Well, if
and he's
there is
been-
a horse to do it, it's going to be Hurricane Lane.
Yeah, I'm with you. I've got a feeling.
I
don't
haven't
wanna give
seen a
too much
ledger
away,
like
but
that. This was my
potentially going on
7th or
top for
8th
me.
ledger
I'm
at
against
Doncaster.
Tanawa.
Okay, I'm
Only at the market. I think she's now got a bit too short.
Yeah,
It was a
5 to
bit of
2.
an overreaction on that run. And how hard a race did she have in the Irish Champion? Probably a bit harder than they wanted.
I don't think-
Chronogenesis, the Japanese
Interesting.
10 to 1. That's what I
That's
thought
a
would be
money horse now, then.
edging towards. Oshin's booked, isn't he, for that one?
Best middle distance horse in Japan, said Oshin.
They say
Yeah.
it's much better than Deep Bond, and Deep Bond won. I know it wasn't a great trial.
That's
but
the story,
he
isn't
won,
it?
He won
Growing
well.
up. Astro King, spotlight verdict you can see there for the Cambridgeshire coming up. Let's get some more. Astro, it's a nap. Ross Irwin, good to have you along, Ross. Says Chronogenesis, hey, is a live chance in the Arc on good ground. Get out on the socials, check Oshin Murphy's socials, see all the work of her prep, her quarantine. It's all gone really, really well. Yeah, the Japanese could do with the winner of the Arc, couldn't they?
Wow, of there, whatever it's called. So close so far.
Oh, I did this the other day. I wouldn't even know about it. What was the horse that
Yes,
should have won?
I was there that day. Solemia won the race.
Solomia.
Solemia.
Mamma mia, mamma
That's what it
mia,
sounds
here we
like.
Jishambu.
And I can't remember the name of horse that had it won. But it had it won,
Come
didn't
on.
it? It went clear.
Simeon rode it, didn't he?
Yeah, and then Solemia come and beat
Not
it.
Deep Impact.
No,
That
if
that
it's
was
something like there or something like that.
What was it? Oh, come on.
I've got no 4G.
Someone will know.
You've not sorted you out with the Matty Batch
I've
Wi-Fi.
got no 4G. My Matty Batch Wi-Fi isn't working.
If you're wondering about Matty Batch somehow is the
That's
password
why
of
I'm
the
not
Wi-Fi.
tipping winners. That's why I'm not tipping winners.
People around the South Bank area going, thank you very much. Yeah, so what was the horse? Come on, the Japanese horse that went all the way. The famous video of them all in the front room watching in Japan. It's brilliant, isn't it? You ever seen the social clip of that? Where they have you not seen it? Oh, go on. Go to Google and watch whoever watches. Come on, the guys in the gallery, where are you? What was the Japanese winner that should have won? It went clear, ducked towards the rail, and 101.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Ofevra. Well done, James. There's a
I
reason
can't
why you're in
pronounce
that
it. I
seat.
knew
Ofevra.
what it was, but I couldn't.
Google Ofevra out there and look for videos, and you'll see the Japanese fans. I mean, this is nothing like nothing you've ever
I'm
seen
going to Google
before.
that when
It's
I
unbelievable.
leave London and get 4G.
And hopefully after a winner of the Cambridgeshire as well. All right, so plenty of chat to be had. Keep your socials coming in. We are, 25 minutes away from the final race of the day here on Racing Post Live. This is the Cambridgeshire coming up. 26 runners, James Millman. Prize money slightly down. I'm going to get to that in a second. There is a reason for it, isn't there? Okay, so let's see if James is agreeing with the spotlights in Astro King or not.
I think Astro King's got a solid chance. He's always there or thereabouts. First of all, 7 places in the sportsbook. So that is your angle you're going to be looking for. And Lucanda, last year's a runner-up. He comes good in the autumn. He's currently 14 to 1. So I'm going to have £25 each way, try and get some money back on the day. A horse who always runs his race this time of year. And that will get me £4.70 back. He's got high draw 28. He's pretty prominently ridden. I think he's got a good chance of being there or thereabouts. I'm surprised at how weak Uncle Bryn is. He's now 11s on the sportsbook. The second string apparently now for John Gosling. Frankie on Magical Morning at 8 to 1. Your favourite, strong on the sportsbook, 9 to 2. And Matt, he's been absolutely smashed off the boards today.
Yeah, he's been the big gamble, hasn't he? Of course, the Doncaster winner who's won 2-2-1, 2-1-1 in handicaps. There you go, get it out.
Small
Dave.
fields, that's the...
Yeah, inexperience is the only worry for me. Mart was the pick. I've been putting him up for a little while. I did the analysis for that Doncaster race and suggested he would be a massive player if getting in under that £4 penalty. Penalised runners don't have the greatest record either, which is quite something of a surprise, but he's a young horse, he's going forward. When I saw Uncle Bryn was on the slide in the market, I assumed this would be the one they'd go for. I'm a fan of his anyway. As soon as the draw came out in 22, I took a little bit of the 10s, but I didn't think he'd go as low as 92.
I think what's nice about Anmat though is that Doncaster is the way that he absolutely skipped on the ground. Obviously, we were quick ground at Donny.
Yeah.
Like, he just skipped, and it would be similar ground today. So that is a massive positive, isn't it? And his attitude
He's
is
got
very,
willing
very
attitude,
good.
yes.
Willing, very, very good attitude. So I can absolutely see why you're. I was umming and ahhing about Anmat, and I was like, oh, but I can definitely see.
You've not got him on top.
No.
though.
No, I've not.
No.
But I can see a strong case for Anmat.
Grand Rodway, you have him on top along with...
You
Yeah, I really like Matt as well.
Yeah.
So we were together on Nugget as well, weren't we, in that one? So let's hope that we can...
Your penalty was not the 8-pounder, it was the 4-pounder that Anmart is carrying. We successfully defied it with nuggets.
Absolutely. So let's hope we can finally put Millman out of his misery here.
Bury him is what you've been
I'm
saying.
not really relying on the Cambridgeshire, but yeah.
Yeah, and Matt, the win at Donny was a good time and a good finishing speed,
Yeah.
and I like that combination. You know, he ran a good overall time and he was strong at the finish,
Yeah.
and that it suggests to me that he's also of immense ability. Now he's gone up. He's got the £4 penalty. He would be racing off £2 more. He should be racing off 100. He's actually racing off 98. His RPR is 105. And which suggests he's £7 ahead of his mark, according to us. So he's running off 98. Now, to have won this race in last century, median RPR, to be ahead of your RPR, you need to really be about 13 or 14 pound ahead of your RPR.
Was it you that wrote this in the paper?
Yeah.
I've seen that tweeted around from our social teams as well.
I'm
Was
still
you were
processing
responsible
this
for that?
information.
Yeah,
'Cause that-
essentially.
why did you not say it's just a stone then? Because that's
Because
14
it's not a
pounds.
stone.
But what you've got, so you don't have to. That's too high. You don't.
No.
I'm trying to read it. Is it in this bit? In high, yeah, okay.
It will be in his preview somewhere.
It's here, I think.
Do I need to explain?
Yes,
Yeah.
please. There's
Yes,
will be
please.
people out there.
So there's 20 years of data. Over the 20 years, you've got horses have all won by different amounts as compared to their
Yeah.
Racing Post ratings compared to their BHA ratings. So in 2006, for example, there was I can't remember the name of it now. Formal Decree was trained by Alan Swinbank. Now that was racing off a marker 97, right? And it won the Cambridgeshire, and it got an RPR of 119. So that's £22 better. So if you had wanted to beat Formal Decree that day, you would have needed a horse, according to us.
Oh,
that was
£22
ahead
Oh
of their
my
So
mark.
this is
I'm
this
in
is
the
from the Barney
game.
Curley school, who famously said, Barney Curley said, to win when I land a gamble on a racetrack, I want a horse that's got at least £10.
It's
ahead of its
making
mark.
sense.
Exactly. So on Racing Post ratings, every year each winner will be given a rating by the RPRs that is ahead of their BHA mark. Now, on average, the winners over the last 20 years, if you were to take an average of all of the winners in the last 20 years,
Yeah.
the average amount that each winner has been ahead of their mark has been £13. So on average, if this is an average running of the race, you will need to be £13 ahead of your mark. You will need to perform to a mark £13 better than your BHA rating. So Anmat is rated 98. So if he
So
is to win
Chichester,
this
that's a
race,
good thing.
yeah, exactly.
Yes,
Chichester
God, I
is
actually
another
get
one.
it. I actually get it. It's really rare for me to get things
And,
like this.
and Matt would need to perform to 111 or higher to win this race if it's an average running.
Yes.
And his best is 105, which means he needs to improve £6 to reach the standard needed. But Chichester, for example, who runs in this race, has already achieved the standard needed last time out at Ayr.
This is the tip of Natalie Green and Paul Keeley today as well in the
Yeah,
Sizzlers.
come on. Come
Let's talk about
on.
Chichester then, because he's quite easy in the market now, James, isn't he? Or is
Well,
he
the
going back
problem
out
was
to...
he was 66s at some point. I think a
Whoa.
few.
Yeah, it was
Few left him a little bit too big after Ayr, thinking he wouldn't get in, and then he obviously has sneaked in. Hollydore booked. He's been beaten off lower marks quite a few times in the past. 7th Pine La Trinidad at York, 4th Artistic Rifles at Hamilton, a couple of runs on whoever at Newcastle, and suddenly, boom, he won well at Ayr last time. I'm not sure if that's quite believable. Is it? Has he improved that much?
Well, that's my issue. Do we believe this? Now, there is a train of thought with Chichester that he's been waiting for the strong pace. And if you've got a horse that is a bit keen in his races and blows it around the bends at York and things like that, what race do you want to go to? You want to go to the Rolling Mile
one.
in September for the Cambridgeshire.
And I actually really like that Holly's on board.
Yes.
I actually really like that on a horse like Chichester. And it was impressive at Ayr, but I think no detriment to Ayr, but obviously this is tougher. This is just tougher. So it wasn't just like how impressive he was at Ayr for me. It was that he's basically £9 well in. That's the thing I do actually get. Holly on board. And he's been
Visually, it
he's
was
been
an
a
absolute-
progressive horse. And what I've written here is a truly run race. That's what I've got.
You've got it.
A truly run race over the shorter trip shouldn't inconvenience, and the ground will be in his favour. That was my main point.
If you want a job in Spotlights, by the way, that would be very good Spotlight.
Yeah, 'cause I'm doing-
Richard Austin, if you're
'cause I'm
listening.
doing so well today. But that was what I came down to, a truly run race over this shorter trip on this ground with Holly after the confidence of Ayr brought me down on Chichester.
Well, isn't it lucky that you've got us on the preview panel because we've gone for the first and second favourite so far in the 26-runner race. But
gosh.
Yeah, we have. So has anyone got any crazies out there?
Well, I've put Lucander up. It's not second favourite.
Yeah.
Each way angle.
Yes,
21's
loves this
currently
place,
on
doesn't
the
he?
exchange.
Jason Weaver's on that, actually. I think I'll read something. Lucandi. Yeah, I think that's not
Possibly. Hector Crouch on board, second last year. I think he's, for the 7 places and off in the sports book, I think he'll be in the 7. He's got a high draw.
What about
Easy,
the ground
quite
for
good
him?
enough. It was good ground last year. They've taken out last year's win at Majestic Dawn.
They have.
And he comes good in the autumn. Now, is that because of the softer ground, or is that purely just at the time of year that he comes good? That is your question mark. But Race Beckett's happy for him to take his chance. It was quick enough at York at the
Has
E1
one on
meeting.
good to firm, we should say.
Then he beat a length and a quarter by migration. He was a little bit disappointing at Goodwood the other day. Off today's mark. I'm happy with him. Not saying it's a bit of a tough task to get that.
Certainly
one
happy
back.
with the draw again, if you like. If you know, and horses for courses, races, if you like, do get the same horses.
I think
that
this
turn
will
up
be a
these big
bit different
handicaps.
with regards to draw because these other races have all been small fields, whereas this time they are going to be spread right the way across
Yes.
the course. You're going to get a proper race on the other side.
Yeah.
So in the last race, you were kind of thinking, oh, these horses get stuck in the middle, nothing to race against. That won't happen here.
So if you're on Chichester who's in 10, that's not ideal, is it? Or if you've got Marie's Diamond, so we're looking for front runners now in the track, and you look down and look at all the runners, and immediately Marie's Diamond and Adam Kirby, Mark Johnson in 12, you assume, a horse that likes this track as well, that will be right up there. So you're thinking, okay, maybe I'll tag on to that one. Now, speaking to Paul Keeley yesterday, top tipster at the Racing Post, and he said, when there has been a single figure, which is the far side at Newmarket, of course, the going stick has been significantly quicker that morning on that side. Now it's even
Equal on both
Stevens.
sides.
Now, it would be true RP Live style, Graham Rodway, wouldn't it? If with stall 1 winning the Derby, which we went big on, can't happen, never happens, stall 2 and all that sort of thing. And also, what happened last time?
Yep, last week in the Air Gold Cup, Dave had a fantastic
Don't put my name on it.
Was it a Dave Orton stat?
Yeah.
I didn't realise it was a Dave
It was
Orton
actually the
stat.
excellent Kevin Morley that put me onto that
He
one.
said that you cannot win this race if you're drawn in stall 1 or stall 30. So
In the
basically-
top 5 or the bottom 5
yeah,
stalls, of
and
course.
Bielsa won it from the highest stall, and Great Ambassador was
I
second.
didn't even believe it a furlong out, actually, if you watch back the
love
clip. I think I said poor Bielsa.
So no, you're right. It would be in true RP Live style.
Yeah, I got that one totally wrong, basically. And it's a bit like a Mondom edge for me, Bielsa. It's not
Yeah.
brilliant. Delighted for the Ryans, of course. Adam
Yeah,
Ryan
and
coming back
Kevin
soon.
Stott. It was a very, very good ride.
We've got 15 minutes
I think we
till
should,
this.
Yeah, Uncle Bryn, though.
14.5. Nobody wants Rob.
Yeah,
Why is this?
Why? Is it just because Frankie's not on it? Like,
Well, I would imagine.
literally,
the
like,
fact
why?
He has
'Cause-
chosen Magical Morning, who was the more exposed of the pair, and not what the talk was at the start of the week.
Now-
It has
I
surprised
feel
a
like
few
if we
people.
don't mention
There is a
Uncle Bryn
theory.
enough,
There is a
like-
theory. Talking about madcap theories, I got one wrong last week. I'll happily put my hands up to that. Bielsa confounded the draw stat that I said, like Adyar did in the Derbies for the first time in 20 odd years or whatever. But you have got a theory here. When you saw Rab Havlin's name at the 8-hour deck stack, when we thought Uncle Bryn was going to have an F de Tory next
Yeah.
week, now Magical Morning, of course, the other Gosden horse, who immediately usurped him in the betting. You've got a theory, Graham, as to why that might be, haven't you?
It's a madcap one.
It
but
certainly is.
I actually don't really like Uncle Bryn that much, but I can see why he's drifted because I think he was put in at the wrong price first. So I think he was put in at a ridiculous price. Like he should never. He's got no form in the book that suggests he should have been 5-1 or 6-1. He's about the right price that he should be now. So all that's happened really is don't think it's negativity or anything like that. I just think he was in at the wrong price at the start and now he's a bigger price. And last week, like James Millman said, Chichester was in at the wrong price.
Yeah, 66.
And also and that's gone the other way.
Yeah.
But my theory with Uncle Bryn, as I have a lot of theories regarding jockeys, is that I do believe that if you're one of those like hard grafters, the workhorse of the yard, it's not all right to then come and put Frankie on everything, is it? Say you're Rab Havlin and you're going in every morning, mucking out, doing all the hard work, and then when it comes to big ride, Frankie just turns around and takes all the best rides. I think every now and again, these top trainers like to throw people like Rob Havlin a bone.
So Rob,
Throw him a bone.
this is a Cambridgeshire bone. I don't know if anyone's out in Cambridgeshire
we've
and
seen
says
it.
it's a
We've
fine
seen-
meal, are we?
We've seen
But,
it plenty of times with Aidan O'Brien and Shamie Heffernan. Ryan wins about 6 races at Royal Ascot and then Heffernan wings in on one.
Because we thought it might be a weight issue, but it's not that, is it? You can do the
No,
weight.
and Rab and Gosden go back a long, long way. Gosden sort of supported Rab through trickier times in the past when those
Without
accusations were actually Rab. Well, I believe him. Rab didn't do some things he suggested, and Gosden's always had his back. But he's a cracking jockey, Rab Havlin. He is. He's a fantastic jockey. But
If you read the comments in the paper and in the members section from the Gosdens today, it's all about Uncle Bryn. He's actually quite lukewarm. It's almost like put offish about Magical Morning.
Who's
actually.
Gozzy?
Yeah, he says it's been Uncle Bryn's target, or like the ground.
Uncle Gozzy.
Your uncle, of course, great Uncle Gosden.
No. I think that this morning though, when Frankie Dettori was on the opening show, Frankie Dettori was very lukewarm about.
They're not massively talking him up at all, man.
I get
He bossed the race at Ascot last time, but you have to remember he went into winter quarters as one of the potential Gosden Derby horses.
Around behind Eric and Lane.
Absolutely.
Right, a shocker.
Yeah.
I get the feeling that Gosden isn't the answer to
This
this.
could
race.
well. You think about Cambridgeshire, you think about horses ahead of them. Might you think of Wissahickon and the likes of that, are well ahead.
Well,
aren't they?
that's what happens in these races, especially early on. A lot of people who price them up, they get lazy and they go, oh yeah, Cambridgeshire, what's Gosden got? Oh, we'll stick that in favourite.
At the
That's what
start
they
of the
do.
week, it looked like Uncle Bryn might go very low, didn't it? He's gone completely the other way,
Oh.
absolutely friendless. Let's get some social interaction before we go back to the panel for more thoughts on this massive race. And the commander comes back. Von Roerich says, Marie's Diamond looks sneaky entry to me. Again, a horse that was been running in Queen Anne's and things like this at Royal Ascot and placed in
course
them.
form.
Absolutely. Yeah, was it the
70.
opening meeting?
70-1.
Has one of the few runners in the race who has run to an RPR £13 higher than his current BHA mark. So
I'll give you a chance to get on your phone if you
capable
like
of-
and have a bit. What about Astro King? This is Barry Orr's famous nap.
This is
wasn't it,
right
Royal
up
Ascot?
Astro King Street. This
Seven
race,
places,
isn't it?
He's going to be in the 7 places. for
7
sure.
places on
Just
the
not
sports
quite
book,
sure.
of course.
He's going on about his £13. Has he got the £13 in him, Astro King?
not sure, but the Nugget form's quite good, isn't it? Because he finished behind
First.
Nugget in the first Hunt Cup.
just keeps coming up short in his handicaps.
Yeah, I've been placing the 3 notable ones, but just like you said, yeah.
You're banking on this trip, aren't you? Bringing
Yeah.
out a little bit more. From
It just looks absolutely right for him, for Astro King. If you look at the race for the horse, this looks absolutely right for Astro King, doesn't he? And yeah, he's been like those notable handicaps, but just not quite. They're placings, aren't they? They've been, they're placings. He's not quite.
I've got another back delay, I think. That's the only thing that's gone well today with Flotus. Long Tradition. Still 37. Marco Gianni, we saw him real world. Go flat out in the Hunt Cup. Kept going. This one made only a maiden or novice at Chelmsford last time, but I think currently 12.5 strong in the market. I'm going to put £20 win on at 12.5 and then lay off in running at 3 and try and get a little bit of a profit because I think he's going to make certainly make the running on the stand side and from still 37. I think he could be an interesting back to lay angle because it's a tough race, but Marco Gianni, he goes forward when he's on one that's got a chance. And I just felt from 37, he'll be the one on that stand side rail. And I thought that could be an interesting back to lay angle.
I think that I could have ridden real well to win the Hunt
you
Cup
could.
off that mark. Though. I mean, what was he racing off? 100 or
image.
something?
I can't remember
What
that.
price is Montvather? That could hit the frame. I know.
Montvather,
The
yeah.
problem is, he's clearly got the talent.
36
but the
on the exchanges.
got the talent, but doesn't look that straightforward.
Still 2,
That's
he'll
the
be
problem.
fast.
Pace scenario we're
That's
helping
the
those a bit
problem.
keen, isn't it? Let's get another social up
Could
then.
maybe hit the frame.
Who's there? Oh my goodness. Marcus Hiroski? Is that right, Hiroski?
Oh, is
it's
that
Mark Hiroski.
Is that Mark Hiroski? Yeah.
Afternoon all.
Hey,
Back to
Hiroski.
Naval Commander each way for the Mark Hiroski, for the drone pilot out there. Let's see. What was that? Naval Commander? Again.
Yeah, I don't know an awful lot about Robin Brisland's third of 5
Naval
Epsom.
Commander. Big prices. 7 places. You've got to be exploring the sports book for horses like him that could just sneak a bit of place money.
A lot of non-runners in this, aren't there?
Yeah,
Just look down.
it's
I
a
can't believe how
10.
many there
Is
are.
it 10?
I didn't realise that many. Now, but should we talk about the prize money in this? Well, good luck with that, Mark. First thing to say, was a talented horse earlier in his day, but I couldn't be with you on that one. Prize money in shouldn't I? What do you mean?
I always find when I say comments like that, they run really well, and you go, oh.
Oh right, yeah. Well, he's probably delighted
Egg
that
on
I've said that
face.
now. Yeah, he'll be pressing up. Prize money in this. It's what is it? 10 grand lower to the winner. Is it 10 grand lower to the winner?
So because they changed the rules and the fact that the first and second is less of a split between the two, you kind of get double the owner's prize money for winning than what the second does, where it's probably more 3 times as much a difference.
Yeah.
So the actual total prize money is the same as last year, but it used to be minimum 99,000 to the winner, 150 grand added. It has dropped. Obviously, we are talking about COVID and track profits, but like I say, for a big handicap like this, you should be racing really for more than 60.
Well, the Kerry National in the week at Listowel, for example, was worth 100 grand, wasn't it? And last year's runner-up in this got 22, just over 22 grand. This year, the runner-up gets 29 grand.
So it
made-
makes that pain of losing by
It's
short.
kind of a bit of a. It's gone under the radar a little bit, this, but it pricked a few ears at our
But
headquarters earlier in the
So
week.
why, if prize money is such an issue, and this race has obviously gone down in prize money, you say, over the recent years,
Yeah.
why is the quality of the race still the same? Why are the trainers
Because
not?
where else are they going to get the prize money from?
Why are the trainers not going right? The prize money's gone down here. You know, I've got to beat 36 rivals to win this race. Plus, I'll probably get whacked in the handicap if I do. I could probably go elsewhere, pick up 2 races.
I don't think you pick up two. Like if you're looking purely at prize money, you probably would have gone Haydock for that mile race, which unfortunately the Nugget went and won earlier on in the day because you beat 6. You had to beat 5 horses.
Yeah, exactly.
That is that. If you the pure more prize money angle you're going to get, you would have headed for Haydock because it's easier to win.
You might not have
Against that.
expected a quicker ground at Haydock though. Like far, you know what I mean? Like it is unusual, doesn't it, Haydock?
Yeah, fast.
I mean-
Do you know what you're going to get? Do
if
you
you
at
are
all?
talking
You don't know what you're going to get. It's
Like, we've
if
been,
you know you've got a really like quick ground horse, I wouldn't be like, oh, I might plan that one for Haydock because it's just so like
but they,
erratic.
well, it's a different point. There's not, in my opinion, there's no such thing as a really quick ground horse or a really soft ground horse. There's horses that love it bottomless,
Yeah.
but most horses, in my opinion, will handle good to soft or good to firm to a similar degree. It's only when it gets really, really bad, and it was never going to be that. But we've been watching races all week with very small fields, a horrible meeting on Thursday when hardly any runners, and then we've got a race here. Yes, it's a very great race, a historic race, but we've got 37 runners lining up in this race. Only one horse can win this.
Well, 26 now, of course, with the nons.
Yeah, the prize money's going down, so why not just redistribute some of these horses, go elsewhere, pick up a few races, pragmatic approach.
But
It's
then
the
do you want
lowest
to be
since.
known as the Cambridgeshire winner, or do you want to be known as a winner of another?
Yeah,
Well,
I don't think it matters, does it?
Certain horses can win a Cambridgeshire and go on to make a mark in the mile division, can't
Look
they? You know, the
North,
group
only
mile
2
division.
years ago. He's gone and done
Missy
pretty
Hickam was
well.
one of those to a certain extent, I suppose. This is the lowest prize money to the winner since Lear Spear won, which was a long time ago, wasn't
But
it?
that is because the redistribution, of course, as well. Like, I don't have a problem with people moaning about prize money. That's fine, because I know that prize money isn't great. But what I do have a problem with it is people not doing something about it, not changing the way they look at things, going, oh, well, the prize money's gone down. I won't run in that race because the prize money's poor. I'll go elsewhere. Because there is opportunities elsewhere where the prize money is better.
Well, it's not better, it's less. You just got
Well,
a better chance of winning it.
1998.
You've got a better chance
this
of
is
You've got
the
a better
lowest
chance
since.
of winning
Yeah.
it, yeah. against
Anyway,
us.
all right. Anyway, so look, the prize money is not great, but there has been a redistribution, so we can't. But the
But I mean,
sponsors
personally,
with
yeah,
stick
I
too
would
much.
be looking at the amount of prize monies here and sort of almost dividing it by the number of runners that I've got to beat, and then
Yeah.
looking at the prize money elsewhere and dividing that by the. And if you worked it out from that sort of equation, you could easily find races that were easier to win for more money. So why not just change
Maybe-
the way you look at it?
Maybe sometimes, like this could be completely wrong. This is just a thought. Maybe sometimes, because James did sort of pick up on it with the Cambridge, it could just sometimes be the owners. They want to be at Newmarket. They want a Cambridgeshire winner. You know, because of the history, because of it could be the owners putting.
Oh, yeah.
Most of the owners that have
Pressure
got
on.
leading contenders, probably Chichester aside, are Sheikh Royal family. Money,
Top
at the end of
operations,
the
we
day,
know them.
is not really going to be
The
the prime object.
It's going to be the race and the history and the.
Smaller owners, even in this kind of contest, it's a struggle to get a horse good enough.
We've had plenty of time to talk about this race, that's for sure. Irish Admiral was one that I was quite interested in with Tom Marquand on. I watched back that red car run, which I was a bit disparaging about at the time, I've got to admit. I did a feature show and someone napped it on it when it won, and we were a bit like, oh, it can't have gone to plan for Irish Admiral. He was supposed to be the horse that was going to be accompanying a Dabe, who might still
Yeah.
be, for his third trip down under. And there he is at Redcar winning. But that form is not as bad, and it looked all over up the straight mile like it was a proper trial for this. I just saw stall 15 come out and thought, I've got to jump off him now. But he's sort of solidifying a little bit, isn't he?
He's 20s.
William Haggis has not got a great record in this race, surprisingly. One place from 15 runners in the last 10 years. It's what
Not
you'd
easy to get a
expect.
place though in this race, is it? As
No.
we were just discussing.
Yeah, exactly.
How many horses has he got to beat?
Yeah,
A
Yeah,
lot.
of course.
a
not.
lot.
Yeah.
He
yeah.
beat 20 and finished 10th.
Fair enough. So not quite as bad as it looks. Who are the late movers then? Long tradition keeps catching my eye on the exchange.
Well, Chichester's closing on to favouritism. It's
Wow.
7.2 and Matt 7.6 Chichester.
A lot of money out there queuing up then to back this 2021 Cambridgeshire winner. Good luck wherever you're going. How long we got? You know, we're closing in on race time, aren't we? The final one here then of RP Live. Great feedback this afternoon. We know you've been loving out there. We've been loving having you as well. We will be back next Saturday.
Did we
of
get
course.
the? Did we get the
poll?
not the poll? The
Oh, the 7 winners.
The 7, the
Should we do it
magnificent
quickly?
7.
The 7 winners. I've got them up in front of my very eyes. Do you want to? You were there.
Yeah,
Did you back any of them? First and
No, I
foremost?
didn't. Diffident was one.
Hang on. Let's get this. Hang on.
Mark of Esteem.
Right, Wall Street was the first. This is the Magnificent 7, 25 years ago today, when Frankie Dettori ripped up the history books at Ascot.
I can get 4, I think now.
I can definitely do the last one.
Wall Street, Diffident was the second one. You said
Yeah,
that.
Mark of Esteem.
That was the third one.
There's one in the Jeff Smith colours.
Decorated Hero.
Decorated Hero was the fourth one. There was one in the Jeff Smith, very famous.
Yeah,
horse.
Lock Angel.
Lock Angel was the
You could have
penultimate
waited.
leg.
And I was just going to...
I can't let you win, Millman.
Come on, we got the easy one.
Fujiyama Crest.
Fujiyama
Last
Crest
one.
is the seventh one, the easy one.
And who
Nat?
are we missing?
Faithfully.
Oh, someone's been on there, blow.
No, I haven't got any 4G.
I haven't.
That was fantastic,
just came
Nat.
to me.
I'll tell you what, that was
Fate.
absolutely
I
brilliant.
was thinking.
Can we have a poll on whether Natalie actually got that or she googled it? please?
Imagine being your lecturer at college, you'd be like, she's done it again.
Oh my
There must be a
God.
device in here
Do
somewhere.
you know what I did in when I was studying for my masters in journalism, ironically, which obviously went well. I couldn't remember all the laws. You have to do a proper section on laws in journalism, so I wrote them on my thigh. I went and just nipped to the loo and quickly went, oh yeah, perfect.
Did you get it
Genuinely.
wrong?
No, I passed my law.
I was going to say, it can't have gone too badly. You're in the paper today. You know, your first appearance in the Saturday jury.
Right, new favourite.
New favourite.
Oh, she done it.
Southerns on the exchanges. 8s for Anne Matt. They've realised Rodway has tipped this one up under Dave Orton.
What? That is
What's
absolutely
favourite now?
disparaging.
Chichester's
Chichester's
favourite.
strong.
Wow,
Very,
coming
very
back in
strong
for
in the
Chichester then.
head
Paul
market.
Keeley thinks this will win. Natalie Green thinks this will win as well. Chichester, the former St Michael Stout horse, of course. Sheevey Park, wasn't he? Holly Doyle, punters putting faith in Holly.
What do you need to level it up, Millman? What do you need to make it all square?
Just need Luke Hanna to place. I think that's
Luke
right.
Hannon to
hold on a
place.
second.
Oh, you've not buried him though so far, have you? This would bury the Millman, wouldn't it?
Yeah, this would end in a tie for Ryder Cup purposes. Would
Ryder
be
Cup
all square.
purposes.
Oh yeah, don't mention. I don't think that's going well either. Over is it over at Wisconsin? I don't think it's going too well. The Ryder Cup.
It's a very strong Chichester. That is the thing. Long tradition also. I think that's the bet to lay in running long tradition. That's 13s on Betfair currently. I think Mark Igani will be going pretty hard on the stand side route. But yeah, there are not many left to go forward.
2 to go,
All right,
is there?
thank you, James Millman. Let us
Two to
see
go.
where the 2021 Cambridgeshire Trophy will be going. Of course, it was one on the stands railed by Majestic Dawn last year. One of the 10 non-runners in the race. Good luck. I'm going to need some help with this call, guys. I can tell you that much. And away we do go. There was one pretty slow at the back, Power of Darkness, up for the first time this year. And there was one Godolphin horse very slow as well. 2 groups we got then. Astro King, the last to go over from the middle group. What's this in the
Is that
white
Marie's
cap?
Diamond
Yeah,
prominent?
Marie's Diamond's pretty
Yeah.
Oh, it
handy.
had to be, and
As
it's gone
expected.
far side.
Yeah.
So they've looked at the going stick. We can't go down the middle. They have split into 2
Split.
groups. And to my eyes, Graham Rodway,
It looks like far side.
it does look like far side are going.
Although you did call Bielsa never winning last week.
I
and of
don't
course
want to
he was
do it.
Always in
I-
front,
I'm
so
hoping it is
it's hard
obviously.
to tell, of course.
It's really hard to tell
Very
who it is.
difficult
Is that
angle.
fantastic fox over there? Or good
I think they're
birthday?
going a good pace on the far
Any
side.
time today's up
Is
there
this
as
long
well.
tradition here?
Yeah,
this
long
side?
traditions up
Yeah.
front. Ropey Guest tracking him through, and Naval Command is also.
Uncle
pretty
Bryn bang up there as well. Where's
Magical
Anmar?
Morning
Just
is-
tracking them.
Just tracking them.
Amethyst is there as well.
Irish Admiral's pretty handy. Astro
Magical
King's got a
Morning
fair bit of
handy.
ground to make up.
Irish Admiral gone far side, isn't he? Okay,
Long
we
tradition, magical morning.
Starting to hot up now, Dave, isn't it?
really
Long
is. What's
tradition's
Anmar doing
favourite,
on the exchange?
Southerns
Where's
at the minute.
Chichester, Nat? On the
Mark's
far
going well.
side, starting to cut the knife through the
Yeah,
butter.
going well, Chichester, travelling.
Here we go then. Looks like far side have just
We'll,
got it.
we'll find out here.
We're
We'll
getting the
find out
measured
who's
one.
in front here.
And Uncle Bryn's absolutely cantering
Far
here.
side
So's
have it.
Anmar.
Far
I
side
bet you
have
this is
it.
going to be near side, guys. And the classy horses
Go on,
are coming.
Anmar.
Where's Chichester? Come on, Anmar. He's on the bridle.
He's cruising here. He's
Coming
cruising
up to
here,
the 2
Dave.
furlong pole. He's 6
Go on,
off the
Anmar.
stands rail. Ropey Guest under pressure. Uncle Bryn going for it. Definitely looks to be near side now, guys.
Come on,
doesn't it?
Anmar, pick
Come
him
on, Anmar. Pick him up. Here we go then.
Come
This is
on.
Amethyst and David Probert going to have a late say as well. But Anmart's
Come on,
horse
Anmart, get on
stays
that
further.
rail.
On the far side, Seb's coming down the middle. Anmart's taking him up. Look at Amethyst. He's absolutely
What's this
flying.
coming?
This is long tradition, is it?
They're doing Story.
Oh my goodness,
Is it
what's
they're
this?
doing
Not Naval
Story?
Commander, is it? It's going to be a Godolphin winner.
What is it?
Who is it?
On the near side in the blue cap.
What was that?
It is. What was on the blue
is it
cap?
Boodle-
Jamie Spencer.
Bedouin
Bedouin
Story.
Oh,
Story.
Jamie Spencer.
Bedouin Story.
Broken our hearts in the Cambridgeshire here, and whoever was on Anmar has been
rides?
picked up late, and he enjoyed that one.
Look at him. Look at that.
And once again, RP Live has broken a hoodoo on the track because Jamie Spencer, the stats weren't good on the Rolly Mile. He has swooped from stall 21, beat stall 22 on the near side. Amethyst. First time cheap pieces, David Probert absolutely flew home from stall 19.
Where's Chichester?
You had to be high, James Millman.
And Matt, 1.18 in the run. Looked like they had the race in the bag. We've seen that time and time again today. Bedouin Story, as Betfair SP was 45.6 anyway. We didn't really pick him out at all until it was well over. He went 110 in the run. But yeah, all the story was Matt had it in the bag and yet another one to get
I'll
claimed.
tell you what, this is when you need a commentator in if you're going to do that sort of thing. Tony Ellis, you can give him a lot of stick, but
No, you did really well. I don't know how. It's so hard.
I don't think I got any of them right, did I? I
but
mean,
you have to
thankfully, G, on the near side, it developed into a proper race, didn't it? The right horses were there. We thought we had it.
And Matt looked like he had it in the bag, and that is why he
He
went
did.
1.21.
You did.
Astro Kings won no sort of race whatsoever. He's dropped out the back of the television. Uncle Bryn, not good enough, basically.
Marie's Diamond,
cruised
I
through the
think,
race.
got your 7th place, possibly.
He ran really well, didn't he? What's that on the far side that's finished
Leo
very
Bryan, beginning with Z.
Yeah.
Number 12, is it? Was it 12?
Is anyone going to answer that?
Zosimus was
Zosimus,
close
the
on the
Donica,
far
who
side.
we
That was
didn't really wanna say.
119 Betfair SP. He's
Wow.
an absolute stormer.
That race, obviously, well, a stat buster on the Spencer.
That's what I've said, yeah, exactly.
He's sixth winner in
We've done it
5
again.
years. So, yeah, we've done it again. And well done, anyone who followed in the Saturday Sizzlers, Paul Keeley, 40-1.
Honestly, I did a feature show with him yesterday. It was the longest preview. Obviously, there's a lot of runners, 36, but he mentioned nearly every horse, and that was one of them that he mentioned.
He did mention the winner.
So it was in the Saturday Scissors. Someone had to find it. Typical. Jamie Spencer then for Saeed Bin Saror. These Godolphin boys, they're just winning everything. Strength of the form, what do we reckon? Just rock solid handicap
That's
form?
typical. And Matt is probably a group horse in the handicap,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
say?
Yeah.
He's
I
had to
think,
do
I think
quite a bit of running,
he's been
hasn't he?
unlucky to get nabbed.
Yeah.
That's just been a common theme at Newmarket today. Bedouin Story, solid. Jamie Spencer's timed it to perfection.
Yeah, Chichester was just a bit laboured, wasn't he? He's coming late.
I
but
quite
this
like
is-
the run from Amethyst in that.
Yeah.
I do. Honestly, I think,
Yeah.
genuinely, I think that was a really proper,
Uncle Bryn's run
decent
well.
run from
He's just
Amethyst.
not quite got that much in hand as the market
No.
suggested earlier on in
No,
the day.
he hasn't. All right, that's the Cambridgeshire. That has been the races so far. Well done if you found all the winners this afternoon. It's not been a bad weekend for us here on RP Live. Nat, this is 2 duck eggs now you've got next to your name. We know that ITV love you.
My
and you're
form,
a darling
my
of the racing
form.
world.
I'm just, it's a minor blip.
It is. The
in
jumpers
my-
are coming out.
in my-
Are you one of those punters that gets a little bit silly season with the flat and you're like, oh no, come on October, come on, we need to get to jumps. We've still got Champions Day, we've got Art next week, but the jumpers, you getting a bit excited for them now?
Yeah, of course.
It's the world you live in.
Absolutely. But I really, really enjoyed this flat season, probably more than most. There's been some amazing narratives.
Yeah.
There's been some fantastic stories. I think we've been able to build relationships with the horses that, like, I remember when I first started 8 years ago, it was like they were in, they were out, and I was like, I don't want to go do it. But now, like, you can, like Stradivarius this year, I mean, it's one of the highlights of the year for me. Hurricane Lane's been one of the highlights of the year.
Wins the Arc?
Yes, definitely.
Wins
yes.
the Arc. Who wins the Arc? Graham Rodway.
I think that the Derby winner will win the Arc. Adayar.
They are
Adayar.
It's hard to...
very rangy,
Yeah,
very
I think he might
big,
win the
rangy
Arc.
horse.
James Millman, great to have you on doing trading again for Betfair Sterling. Well, what wins the Arc?
Tarnawa.
Tarnawa. Okay. For me, it's a toss-up between Hurricane Lane and Snowfall, I think, has gone out in the betting. If they have a bit of rain over there in Paris, she'll come in the price. You'll have to wait till next week, next Saturday, to see what we're tipping in that. Sun Chariot, of course, at Newmarket. We'll be going to Ascot as well. Thanks to the panel. Thanks to you for watching. Thanks to the guys in the gallery. This has been Cambridgeshire Day. It went the way of Bedouin Story and Jamie Spencer.